Boners Weenus.
Oops, hang on a second.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. That should do it. And let me kill the echo. That should do that. Okay, we're good.
Hey, all right. Welcome to the Tuesday show, where Boners Weenus says, "Grow up, David." Nice work.
It's literally in our chat right now.
In our chat. Anyway, you're James Chen. How's everybody going?
Yep, that's correct.
We're going to be talking about these various topics. We're going to be talking about E3, Undefeated / Red Bull Conquest. Other things happen too, E-League and so forth. We're going to be talking about a 50-50 matchup thing, you know, where we argue against each other. We'll talk about
or
SonicFox
agree against each other.
Agree.
Yeah.
Talk about SonicFox versus Zero and other stuff. We'll talk about the BlazBlue cross tag battle, DLC, and so forth.
Yep.
First of all, I just want to apologize to the entire world about having concentration camps in our country. That's really tough news. While I was driving here, it came out that there are at least 3 detention centers for what they're calling tender age children. Yeah, which means babies. Literally, it's babies. I don't know that I can talk about this subject for too much without really getting mad.
Hey, but you know what?
Hard for me to
but you know what?
Ignore it.
We're going to be safe from alien invasion.
I wanna say that this is not American, but it is. We've had this nice little window of several decades of relative tolerance after a century of slavery and then another century of Jim Crow and Japanese internment and Chinese exclusion and all sorts of stuff. And so it feels like to many of us that this is new, but it's not. It's the whole history of the country of treating people that we deem as the other terribly, and that's still happening. So I'd love to say that it's not my country, but it is, and that's something that we need to change. But in the meantime, there's a big chunk of the country that is not just cool with it, but they enthusiastically support it.
I mean, that's kind of the whole narrative, right? Is that there is this kind of sentiment that our country has always done good things and right. I mean, that's where the whole great again thing comes from, right? But it's really just a history of...
Well, by great again, they specifically are talking about the time when this kind of stuff could happen.
Exactly.
There's no bones about it. Concentration camps in the very literal meaning of the term. That term had a literal meaning before. It just meant Nazi death camps. And this is that. Concentration camps are something that came about towards the end of the 1800s, beginning of the 1900s.
It's a camp where you concentrate a bunch of people into.
It happened in South Africa and it happened in Cuba, and we were some of the originators of it in Cuba. So it's got a long history, and we're still doing it. So.
Yep.
Like I said, I just can't talk about it for that long without really going off the deep end about it. So, but I couldn't not talk about it. They have camps for babies. So anyway, let's get back to E3 and talk about video games. We'll see if I can do that.
Stuff, just letting everybody know, that we do have the air conditioner on down here, but since we switched to lapel mics, I think it doesn't affect the noise as much. So let us know in the chat if it's actually pretty decent for you guys, if you can hear anything or not. But it is pretty warm nowadays, so
yeah, it'd be nice to have it on, that's for sure.
Yes.
Anyway, so last week we went to E3. We were both there. You were there all 3 days?
All 3 days.
That's a lot.
All 3 days. And so I got to check out quite a bit, although, to be honest, I didn't get to do too much. We talked about a bunch of it on last Tuesday, because I had been there for a day. I talked about Mega Man, et cetera, et cetera. I did get a chance to try a bunch of other stuff outside of that later on. So, I don't know, from your perspective, since you hadn't got a chance to talk about it at all, what did you think?
I hadn't been there at that point. I was there only on Thursday. So from an FGC perspective, it wasn't the most impactful E3, at least among like sort of traditional fighters. Smash is obviously gigantic news, but there's no like sort of other new major game that's about. I did get a chance to play Soul Calibur for a while, and I talked with Bibulus about it, who's a longtime Soul Calibur player, commentator, and so forth. And he was really happy about the state of the game, really stoked for it. We talked with Beautiful Dude, who somehow won the tournament that they had for Soul Calibur. That's pretty remarkable.
This guy, dude, he's a talented guy. He's a talented guy. Yeah.
Definitely right. And it seemed really fun. I played Jump Force I didn't know.
Okay,
right, so Bandai has
a new game with
all the anime titles.
Naruto.
Yeah.
All right, I'm stopping there.
You should probably stop.
I mean,
I don't know the characters that well either.
Yeah.
So anyway, I tried it, like sort of wondering whether it's supposed to be competitive or not, and I came away thinking that it seemed like a fun and kind of pretty game, but that it's not supposed to be competitive.
Yeah, it feels that's like the new variant of Linux, right? It's
Naruto.
Naruto.
Yeah. Yeah. We're cinnamon on that guy.
I mean, it's funny because a lot of people were telling me they actually didn't like the way the game looked.
Oh, really?
A lot of people were actually telling me that they thought the game looked kind of ugly, but you know, so I guess there's kind of like two different sides of it. So.
It wasn't the prettiest game I've ever played, but I thought it like kind of looked cool, I guess. But yeah, so for example, with respect to not being competitive, you have assists, and I just found a way to knock the opponent down, call assist as a meaty, and then also do a meaty grab. And I guess grabs are maybe like coded as just unblockable attacks rather than throws.
Yeah,
so you can just do knockdown, call assist, meaty, unblockable, knockdown, call assist, meaty, unblockable, and it was just a loop.
I mean, Bandai Namco also had the My Hero arena fighting game as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, although I didn't try it.
Okay. Yeah,
so
I
I
didn't
can't
get a
talk
chance
about
to try
it, unfortunately.
I didn't get a chance to do anything with it either, but it seems like a couple, and I saw more people more excited for My Hero.
Okay.
I don't know if that has anything to do with the fact that they're bigger fans of My Hero Academia or what. Yeah. I'm not even sure I got the name of the anime correctly.
Don't ask me, buddy. I'm sorry.
I'm trying.
So I tried that. I was there for Street Fighter V when they had the exhibition that you commentated, which was Kenny Omega and pals versus Xavier Woods, etc. And I got to tell you, I really enjoyed it.
Dude,
I thought it was a blast. It was just like a blast to be in the crowd. Like the crowd was chanting and cheering, and they were really into it. It was really
I almost kind of want to. Maybe we should add that to like the topic of 50-50s. Do we need more of this kind of thing in the FGC?
Sure.
Okay, we'll throw that in there.
My answer is sure.
If we have time. But honestly, I had a blast doing that. That thing was great, and you know. I was reading like comments because up, down, down. Xavier Wood. I'm sorry. Someone pointed out that I've been pronouncing Xavier Woods.
Is that really how it's supposed to be pronounced?
Yeah, it's not supposed to be Xavier Woods. It's Xavier Woods. So I guess I was mispronouncing it the whole time.
I didn't know
But you know, their channel, their YouTube channel is up, down, down, right? And that's where they stream. It was streamed on there. They said it had like 40K viewers on there. Where the Capcom Fighter stream had like 10K viewers, right? So, but like... I went to the YouTube and saw the video up there. Some people were actually, they really enjoyed me and Yipes' commentary. However, we did talk over the wrestlers sometimes, so sometimes some people were mad about that. But I saw some people even like writing like, these guys are better than the actual commentators. I was like, yeah, there you go.
How did you guys, I haven't listened to the thing. How did you treat it? Did you treat it as like a kind of wrestling show, or were you commentating it for real?
We were kind of doing a half and half.
Okay.
Like we were trying to do that, but a lot of times things would happen, and like for example, when Tasty Steve got super kicked by one of the Jackson boys, right? You know, on stream, I was just like, "You can't do that. That's good. You can't do that. He's one of us." You know, and started getting mad, and I was like, "No, Kenny Omega deserves to lose. Like it's all like Austin Creed has to win now." So I started rooting for him and stuff like that.
What was Jax doing? Was he like taking the other side?
He was just kind of laughing about things and joking around, and then even like at one point in time, as Yipes always does, he's broke into some Spanish commentary, and I was like, no, you got to stop the Spanish commentary, otherwise we're going to get our table destroyed, you know. So I was, you know, making good wrestling references here. I was happy. So. But it was fun. Like we were definitely doing that. Like at first I was like complaining about like this person's cheating and that, you know. So I was trying to ham it up a little bit.
Good. That's what I think you should do.
I think it was fun. It was fun. So
the one time that I had a chance to do that kind of thing was at CEO a couple of years ago when they also had an exhibition match there, the two same guys. And I don't know much about wrestling, and I think I was commentating with Mike Ross, who also doesn't know that much about wrestling. So we were like a little hesitant going into it, but yeah, we just kind of hammed it up, and it was really fun. I never listened to it back, to be honest, but it was really fun to do. But yeah, I thought that was great. Like I would love to see more of that kind of thing. It was a good way to bring people in. Like as I was in the crowd, it's standing room only in that crowd, and there wasn't a ton of space. So the ushers were constantly like, "Hey, everybody, pack in!" They were constantly packing us in, and there were many people who I heard come up behind me or next to me saying like, "Hey, what game are they playing? What's going on?" And then they just stood and watched, and they were like into it. So it really did bring people over and have them pay attention to it.
And those guys, Xavier Woods, Austin Creed, and Kenny Omega, those guys, they know how to put on a show.
I mean, they're hilarious.
They're so good at that. Like, I watch it and I'm just like, man, this is too good.
Yeah, they were hilarious.
So good. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I'm particularly impressed at how well Austin did, making it seem like he should lose to Kenny.
What do you mean?
You know how he's way better than Kenny Omega at Street Fighter?
No. Kenny Omega's...
Fine, all right.
Okay.
The real story is that Kenny Omega is way better at Street Fighter than Austin is.
I was halfway through saying what I was saying. I was like, oh, okay, wait, no, he's not. Okay, I thought you got him confused or something.
No.
Okay.
But I mean, Austin definitely did know some stuff. It wasn't like he was completely new. But I'm super impressed at how well Kenny made it seem like it should be close. Not just that it was close or that he died in stupid moments. Like, he always took advantage of a clear mistake from Austin. He always took advantage of it. So it wasn't clearly a throw.
Right.
But nevertheless, he went down to the final round, I think, even. So
and I will tell you guys also that those peppers were definitely real, and they were definitely suffering.
Yeah.
Because I'll just say this much: it didn't go exactly as expected.
Okay.
Let's put it that way. They were suffering really badly, so they were not just eating funky looking tomatoes. Okay,
yeah.
they were legit suffering. So
dang.
Oh man, it was pretty damn funny. So. I mean, Kenny Omega, he's not even really an Alex main anymore. He's actually he plays a lot of Abigail now.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I actually got a chance to sit down with him before this whole thing in kind of the planning thing a few weeks ago. Now I can probably talk about it.
Okay.
But
a few weeks ago you guys were playing?
So I actually got to play against his Abigail and stuff like that, and it was actually pretty good. And he's a really, really solid Abigail, so there you go.
Yeah, Raph, I agree. It's very cool to see how they apply the wrestling kind of idea in a video game, because I mean, like I said, definitely Kenny is the better player, but he made it seem close, and I think you can see his experience in basically putting on a show.
So Callisto was part of the whole staff running it, and so he's kind of even typing it out there. It's like we had, a lot of things about what we were going to do the show, but the end was basically all improvised because of how much the peppers were making them suffer.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty funny. So.
And Xavier Woods tweeted from the toilet stall afterward. I don't think that was made up either.
No.
I'm pretty sure that's real.
Well, because he actually even said, people were asking about the peppers before, they were like, how bad are they? And he was like 1 you can kind of handle. It's 2 starts to hurt, and he's 3 it passes right through you. Okay. So that's literally what he said before even anything happened. So I think it only took 2 that time.
Oh man.
Oh man, it's funny. Yeah.
Anyway, it was really good. Nice work, everybody, on that. That was really cool.
We'll talk about it a little bit more on the 50-50 segment. Sure. Okay, so yeah.
As far as E3, I didn't play Smash Bros. I wanted to, for sure, but course, I went over to the Nintendo booth, and the line was forever. And I don't know that I could. Maybe I could have found my way in somehow, but I didn't have an immediate way into the back to go test it out Illuminati style. So I just kind of walked by, and I tried to watch it a lot. I was there in the booth, watching other people play it a lot.
Okay.
And I'm really stoked for a lot of the changes that are in there. It sounds like a more fast-paced game than Smash 4. Yeah. I really enjoy watching Smash 4 footsies, to be honest. It's just that I don't like how long it takes to kill. It just it feels like it's dragged out.
Right. Yes.
It's just dragged out.
Because there's only so many times you can go, oh, they made it back. They made it back.
And the launch is kind of slow, you know what I mean? But in Smash Ultimate, it's fast launch, it's faster movement.
Dude, you know how someone described it? They was it's exactly like when you punch a balloon across the room. And when he said that, it's like you could picture exactly as boom. You know, so it is faster launch for sure.
Yeah. So that's cool. And I'm also really excited for some of the character changes that they're making. I played Little Mac a lot in Smash 4, right?
Okay.
And he sounds like he's much improved. I really enjoyed his footsies. He's basically a Street Fighter character in that game. Right, you're just grounded footsies, and they improved that because now you can attack directly out of a dash. His side B doesn't just put him in free fall, so he won't die instantly.
Death mode.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So he definitely got improved. So I'm happy about that. They buffed Ganon, which is cool for me. Basically, the couple characters that I played. I haven't heard what happened to Bowser yet, but I'm interested in that.
I'm curious to see what they do to Zelda. Because she's always been kind of crappy.
Yeah, so I read about it a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
They sped up a lot of her frame data.
Oh, nice.
So she has faster buttons. Things basically work faster and better. It seemed like there were a lot of buffs to her. And what I read about it wasn't that they thought that she'd be like crazy good or anything, but that she would be
more
maybe
viable.
usable.
Okay, yeah. Because she's always been one of my favorite characters to use since Melee.
Yeah.
I used her instead of Sheik just because I wanted to hit people with Shu.
Okay.
I wanted to hit people with jumping side A or back A, fair or bear, because when you got them with that sweet spot and it killed them, that was like my favorite thing to do, right? So I tried playing her in Smash 4. And she just didn't cut it. And the other character, my main character is Ness.
Yeah.
Right? And Ness was much better.
Yeah.
So there was just no reason to play her. So when this one comes out, I will definitely be sticking with Ness and Zelda and see if there's anybody else I might want to pick up. But maybe Mega Man and Pac-Man. Pac-Man was another one that I played
you really
a lot
like
of.
Pac-Man.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. So we played this game a lot when it first came out.
Again, we always told the story. We played on the plane.
Yeah, we were playing on the plane. It was cool.
A third person joined our lobby randomly on the airplane, and we were looking around, and some guy held up their DS, and we were like, sick. And the guy was good too.
He was pretty good.
So it was fun.
Yeah. So in Smash 4 I played Little Mac the most, but I played Ganon too, and I also played Villager. And I don't know what happened to Villager. I just haven't read about it yet. But I feel like each of them is really interesting, and I'm really looking forward to how
and Little Mac had that problem, kind of the Zelda-ish problem too in Smash 4, was that in the end he just wasn't very good.
Oh, he definitely sucked.
It was too easy to knock him off, and
his recovery was too bad.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so at least in the E3 build, his side B doesn't put him in free fall, so he can do, as a recovery, he can do side B, then jump, then up B, right? So he has a lot more recovery.
Okay, gotcha.
It's a lot better.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a really cool idea. They added, obviously, the directional air dodge, which can help you get back on stage a little bit. Can't wave dash as much, and, I know there's some contention on that, but we'll get to that topic in the 50-50 matchup. Okay. But, overall, someone actually said that there's actually not true throw teching. That the way throw techs work is that if throws connect on the same frame, and only if they connect on the same frame. Because before it was random who would win.
Okay.
It was the Mortal Kombat 9 mentality where they were just like, just pick one. Except it wasn't stuck for the whole round. Yeah. It was literally a random. And they didn't want that anymore. So now if you both tech at the same time, you break apart. But if it's even one frame off, whoever gets it first wins, and you can't break it, basically. So that's how it would work right there. So.
Oh man, yeah, D1's reaction to Snake happening was the best.
Well, which one?
Oh, you didn't see that?
I didn't see it. Oh, no.
He just freaked out.
Oh, on stream when he saw the reveal for Snake?
Okay. It was a good one.
Yeah, so it's very similar to Guilty Gear. Although
it was port priority.
The funniest thing is, whenever me and my friend played Guilty Gear, because he threw so often, we saw so many perfect breaks, throw breaks, because we were just throwing each other all day. It was actually kind of fun. Is it a port or new game? God. I mean, do you see Max's little experiment, dude? Actually, but dude, it's a new game. It's a new game. Right?
Yeah, obviously.
I don't know.
Really. Yeah, anyway, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. So a lot of good things there. I did get a chance to mess with Soul Calibur 6 a little bit as well. I got to play against Joe.
Okay.
This was the first time I really kind of touched Soul Calibur, and immediately my first impressions were, wow, this game is fast. It's just run around and attack, swing and attack, and it's I'm going to parry, I'm going to do this. And it was stuff was happening. And immediately, I could obviously tell I had no idea what I was doing, right? Yeah, but that's not a problem. But the most telling thing to me was I really want to sit down and training mode the game.
Okay.
Like, I know when I'm excited about a game because I'm like, shit, I just need a training mode. And like, because it was very similar to Tekken when I first started learning Tekken, like understanding crouching from crouching, you know, while standing, doing all this stuff. And a lot of this stuff exists in Soul Calibur, but it's a little different because at first when I was playing against Joe, I was like, let me try doing a crouching kick so I can sweep, right? And I couldn't crouch. And I was like, what the hell, Joe? How do I crouch? I saw you do it. He's like, you have to hold guard and hit down. And like things like that, I don't know yet. You know what I mean? And so like, I want to sit down and learn all this and figure out the movement and how everything works. So I'm kind of excited for it. But, you know, Bandai Namco interviewed me and Joe at one point after playing it to ask our opinion. And, you know, I said this to them and I told them I'm not saying it just because they're interviewing us. I really mean it honestly. But I feel like Bandai Namco is really killing it for fighting games in the last couple of years, you know, between Tekken and Dragon Ball and Soul Calibur is turning out really, really nice. So I'm really looking forward to that game. Now it's October, so I'm excited. And they just they haven't revealed Astaroth yet, right?
No, but it looks like him in the story mode.
Right? Yeah. Movement.
Hopefully he's in there.
Movement is a big part of that. The 8-way run is super important. And of course, I found out that L.I. Joe has a waifu. He picked Ivy, right? And he's like, and he made the mistake. He was like, Ivy is my favorite like female character in all of fighting games. Like he was like, you know, I've always played Ivy, blah blah blah. And I was like, so she's your waifu? And he was like, I hate that.
He doesn't like that? Oh, yeah?
I was like, but she's your wife. He's like, do we have to call it that? I'm like, yes. Yes, we have to call it that. But, I mean, he actually just liked the concept of being the sword, being able to break into pieces and do whips and the cool stances and everything like that. Sure. Exactly, right?
Yeah, I read the Soul Calibur Kotaku article. I thought it was interesting. I mean, the person who wrote it obviously likes the game a lot. But what I found most interesting in that article was that the designer said that they come up with the weapon first and then design the character around the weapon. I kind of don't know how they got Ivy out of like, that whip thing, but I mean, her weapon is definitely sick.
Right? Yeah, it's a cool idea. Yeah,
cool.
But they definitely just need to go the Senran Kagura route. Where the designer of that game was just like, I just like boobs.
Just say it, you know. I
just like boobs. I mean, because Soul Calibur went from like Sophatia and Talum, they were like pretty modest, and then all of a sudden, I forgot which game it was, but they all of a sudden just like...
They got blown up.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. I'll be playing the big boy. Well, assuming that Astaroth's in the game,
right?
But I never took Soul Calibur seriously enough to have a secondary. But I think that I probably would be Ivy because I really like the idea of her weapon and her range and all that sort of
stuff. Dude, I was having trouble fighting against Joe because he was using that character, and I was going with Maxi.
Oh yeah, you got to get in.
The nunchucks like doesn't quite have the same range and everything like that. And then, so Maxi's my character. First time I saw the kata display in this first Soul Calibur in the attract mode, I was just like, this is beautiful. And, you know, growing up, my dad used to watch Bruce Lee movies all the time. So I was like, with Li Long, I really wanted to play with the nunchucks, right? Second character that I play is Killick, so I might try him as well because he looks like a Romance of the Three Kingdoms character.
Okay.
So I might try to use him a little bit as well, so...
no, I'd be surprised if they changed it.
Yeah, Ivy's not changing, dude. Ivy's not changing.
Yeah. But yeah, looks very cool to me.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that game. Anything else to say about E3?
I did not get a chance to try Tetris Effect. It was caught behind the virtual reality PlayStation VR line, and if you sat through the whole line, you weren't guaranteed to even play the game that you wanted to play because all of them were there. Yeah. And in fact, the guy who was manning the line even told me that everybody wanted to do was play Beat Saber, which I totally get because I totally want to play that game. It's a virtual reality rhythm game.
Okay.
But basically, you carry two things. So you're basically lightsabers, and it's a red lightsaber and a blue lightsaber, and blocks come at you with the direction that the arrow that you're supposed to chop it with the color.
Yeah, I saw the trailer.
With the color for it, so you actually have to
breakdown, I guess. Yeah.
So it just looks really sick. Eduardo's fiance, Kat, plays it a whole bunch on her Oculus, and she says it's like amazing. All right. So I really, really want to play that game. But I also want to try Tetris Effect Didn't get a chance to because I just didn't want to wait in that line.
Yeah.
I checked out Spider-Man. That was the other thing that I was kind of interested. Again, gigantic line, but I watched someone swinging, and that's all I needed to see. I would probably buy the game.
It looked good?
Yeah, the swinging not only looked good, but it had that, but the graphics are so good now that the effect is very exhilarating now.
Okay.
Like, it felt fast, and it felt like, woo, when you see it yourself swinging through the city, you know, it was like, okay, this is cool, this is cool. So probably become a must-buy for me. Mega Man 11, I mentioned last week. Super happy with it. I actually went back and beat Fuse Man, which apparently he wasn't available on the floor. He was only available in the room in the VIP section.
Oh, dang.
So I actually got to mess with Fuse Man in there. But I'll tell you this, I am a big stickler for Mega Man games. Mega Man games mean a lot to me, right? And I'm one of those people that, like, if it's not good, I will shit on the game like you can't even possibly imagine.
Okay.
The Fuse Man fight was great.
Okay.
Was great. I loved the Fuse Man. It was just the right amount of difficulty where I died like 2 or 3 times trying to fight him, but then once you started getting it, like you could fight him well, and that was cool to me. I really, really enjoyed that. And there was also something kind of interesting too, that even after you beat the boss, they even give you a screen where you can test the weapon. You've never been able to do that before.
Oh, interesting. Cool. Okay, I like that. Yeah, I didn't try. We'll talk about that later. I didn't try Resident Evil 2, but by all accounts, it looks and sounds fantastic.
Yeah, Yipes was telling me that, like, it's just not the same as it was before. Like, shotgun isn't free. Like, he said he shot a zombie in the head with the shotgun, and it just ripped all the skin off its face.
Oh, my God.
And it just kept coming at him and attacked him.
Wow.
Yeah, like another one he shot, like, half the head came off, but it was still coming at him.
Oh, my
so it's
God,
like, it makes more difference to, like, shoot them in the legs and the arms and stuff like that.
Wow, crazy, okay.
But I didn't want to play it because I am going to play it, and I want to experience it all. And, like, by all accounts, everyone said it was amazing.
Sure.
So I was like, you know what? I don't need to play the demo. I'm just going to play it.
You're confident. Yeah, that makes sense. I did also want to try out Tetris Effect. I didn't even know about it until you told me about it. But then as I was walking through the PlayStation area, they had this gigantic widescreen, huge widescreen monitor, and gigantic sound system. And as I was walking by it, they started playing what turned out to be the trailer for it, but I didn't know that it was the trailer for it. It just gave me crazy flashbacks to, like, being in an underground rave in the East Bay in, like, 2002. Because it's like this really trippy, scientific sounding announcer guy that used to be pretty common in electronic music. And the trailer's like this kind of galactic looking, super trippy.
With some EDM in the background, right?
With EDM in the background, yeah, for sure. It reminded me actually of going into a bar in Berlin that was in a bombed out building that had never been restored except for this one room, and when you walk into it, there's the giant fire-breathing dragon made out of wrought iron on the ceiling, and on the other ceiling is really intense, hairy lesbian porn, and then on the other ceiling is exactly this kind of, like, galactic looking, and the music is just like some science professor put over some dance music. It basically was really trippy.
New stereophonic sound, spectacular.
It was super wild, and it was just like an automatic flashback to that moment. So I tried to play Tetris Effect, but I ran into the same thing of needing to stand in the line and then not being sure that I could get in there. So.
Oh man, someone actually on the top was talking about Street Fighter Cross Mega Man. Do you remember that game that came out? Someone made, and it was because it was the guys in. I think it was the Singapore guys. Remember how they had, like, the Z and the CN Mega Man characters blowing up the car, and then eventually that guy made a Mega Man versus Street Fighter that Capcom backed, and they kind of came out of it. What was actually cool about that, it wasn't an official, like, Capcom game or whatever like that, but it actually was listed on their Mega Man timeline on the wall. Cool. It was actually listed there, and I took pictures of it, and the guy from Singapore who made it saw my picture and, like, liked it and stuff like that. And it's just like, how cool is that?
Yeah,
how cool is that it was, like, acknowledged for him? Yeah, it was free, absolutely. So, you know what? I never played it. You know what the sad thing is? I have it on my PC. Like, it's sitting there on my desktop right now. But the thing is, I just don't play games on my PC, so I never sat down and played it.
With the times.
So, yeah, I know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So.
I would not have described it as being sexy porn. It was really intense. It was like not. It was like on the harsher side,
okay.
So I was like not into it, but it was just like part of the atmosphere.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
Really, it's a weird place.
Guess it goes with the flaming dragons and crazy EDM music. Okay, but let me think.
Everybody was a terrible dancer there, so it was great. I fit in.
Was there anything else at E3 that caught my attention? There was a lot of things there. But
I basically didn't bother other than that. I walked around, I saw what was there, and I didn't feel like I was that enticed in most of it. Like, I didn't feel like it was a year that was for me. I get why people are excited for some of the games that were announced, for sure. But I just know that I'm not going to end up playing most of them, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Killer Queen Black is definitely cool. I'm looking forward to seeing how they end up doing that. I think they just changed it to 4 players. So it's not going to be. Do you know what I'm talking about? Killer Queen.
I didn't actually see what it was. So
Killer Queen is an arcade game.
It was on the Switch, right?
That's what Killer Queen Black is announced for.
Okay.
Killer Queen has been out for a long time. It's an arcade only, competitive, I think 5-on-5 game.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, I've only played it at maybe it was E3 or I don't know, one of those conferences. Maybe it was GDC even years ago.
Okay.
Super fun, very interesting. Different roles for different players. You can be like the queen, or you could like gather berries. Or it's like really complex. But all on just like one screen. So you're not like it's not like a MOBA where there's a whole map. It's just the screen. Super interesting game. Very interesting team ideas, and you could run plays, and it's very, very cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they do that for Switch with, I think, 4 players.
But now, and now they're going to be able to get their own screens and stuff like that, right?
Presumably, I guess, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, presumably you can play it online. Even.
Well, some people were saying it was at EVO last year.
Yeah, it's been at EVO. It's been around for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I didn't get a chance to do anything with Devil May Cry. My problem is that after the first game, I played the first Devil May Cry, which I thought was good but not great. There was a lot of weaknesses in the game. And then the Famitsu director got to do the second one, and it got nothing but terrible reviews, and everyone hated Devil May Cry 2. So I was like, I added it to that list of franchises that I would just drop from my playlist because you just don't have enough time. So even though 3 and 4 were like amazing, I never ended up playing them. So I don't have any sort of like background I don't have enough background knowledge to be invested in the Devil May Cry series anymore, unfortunately. So
yeah, I didn't keep up with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, the biggest for me FGC related news from E3 is that there's no MK11 yet. Yes.
Yeah. We'll talk about that in a little bit as well, because Ed Boon apparently had some stuff to say about that as well.
Indeed.
So we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, the biggest news in terms of fighting game community is definitely Smash.
For sure.
We talked about that a lot last week, so probably not much else to say except I'm excited for it.
Definitely.
I'm going to definitely probably try to get into it as much as I can.
I mean, I imagine I'll treat it like I did Smash 4 and Melee, where it's like a fun, casual game. I enjoy watching it, but I just play it casually myself.
Right.
I'm not going to like grind it necessarily.
Okay.
But I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. Well, all
right.
Let's jump to the next topic over here. Let's talk about some of the events that took place over the weekend. There was a few of them.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Undefeated first, which is the tournament in Arizona run by Angelic. I was there, I think, at the last Undefeated a year ago, I think it was. But did not get a chance to make it this year. But, you know, small little local. Hope a lot of people manage to have fun. And one of the cool things about that event, of course, is that it puts Marvel as the prior. Marvel is the main event. So the tournament actually closed out with UMVC3 and then MVCI.
Correct,
so
yeah.
Very, very cool.
I watched a lot of it.
I did not get a chance to watch a lot of it.
Do you have the results there? Because I've been looking for them for the last few minutes, and
I did not find any results. Let's check Smash.gg, maybe, perhaps. Perhaps. Did you check Smash.gg?
No.
Okay, I'm checking Smash.gg. Undefeated. Go. Okay. So Undefeated, we had a bunch of tournaments there, actually. Yeah, okay, there's a lot of tournaments there. So let's just do it in the order that they have it listed here.
Okay.
Let me see. Complete standings. Here we go. So in is this right? Yes. Okay. So tied for 7th place in Dragon Ball Fighters at Undefeated. Yeah, actually, this is probably something we could talk about on the 50-50 as well. It's just the lack of, like, just how hard it is for events like Undefeated and Red Bull Conquest to get viewership and proper coverage.
I think that's weird, man. I've been looking for it on both SRK and Event Hubs for the last little while, and I don't see it. So if I missed it, please let me know, because I'd love to get more detail. I watched most of it, but I couldn't tell you offhand who everybody used.
Right, yeah. I don't have the person that they used. I just have the names on here. So 7th place in Dragon Ball Fighters was Pipe Fox and Kyle P. from Seattle. 5th place was Vortex and Laz. 4th place was Zombie Moo. 3rd place, YLT Cole. 2nd place, Wrath. And 1st place, Kyoku236HS.
Okay, he was playing 16.
Okay. Nice.
All right. Okay. That had the most entrants, I believe.
Yes, so that had 73 entrants. I'm going in terms of entrance order.
Yeah, well, that's how Smash usually does it.
Yes, okay. So then we had Street Fighter V AE Singles, in which 7th place was Dente3 and AZ Trellix. 5th place was Reedman, 765 Reedman P, as well as Rambro. 4th place was WT Yusuf, very, very strong player from the area. 3rd place, Jabril.
Hey, he plays Street Fighter. With Vega, no less, so he got 3rd place with that character.
Vega. Jeez, okay. 2nd place was K-Brad. K-Brad's 2nd place, and 1st place was TGZ Ikita. Do you know who did Akita use?
I stopped watching after that.
Okay. But good job to Akita then. Ricardo Hernandez apparently only lost to K-Brad once, so I guess K-Brad might have reset the bracket or sent him to loser's bracket or something of that nature. All right, and then also was Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Yeah, so this was the final game of the night.
Akita used Manat. Okay. It's interesting because a lot of people say that Cammy supposedly does really well against Manat, and so I would feel like K-Brad would kind of have that, you know.
I don't know, man.
Okay. 7th place was Prasix, as well as YLT Cole. 5th place was Ninja Nam and Knives. Knives from old school MVC3.
Playing Dormammu Sigma or Sigma Dormammu.
Really? Yeah. No more Spencer, huh? Because he was kind of known for Spencer in MVC3. I heard there was a lot of Sigma.
I think 3 people played Sigma.
Okay. 4th place was Ketsui. 3rd place, Noel B. Hungry, doing the patented get to winners finals and then lose 2 straight.
Correct.
2nd place was Jabril, and 1st place was Stealth.
Yeah.
Without dropping a set.
Yeah, he basically blew everybody up. I mean, he's been good throughout all of MVCI, so I thought that was really cool. But this was mostly a Marvel tournament, as you said. So while for some other games it was mostly local players, for this stuff, that was players, go back to the thing. That was players from all over North America. So I watched all of the MVC3 and MVCI Top 8. It was super cool. So yeah, there was, I think Jabril was Morgan Sigma.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
If I recall correctly. So that was really cool to see. I think Ketsui played the same team, which was very interesting. But yeah, there were people with all sorts of different characters. There were a bunch of different stones. In fact, I think that winner's side top 8 was Time Stone, Power Stone, Reality Stone, and Space Stone.
Oh, nice.
The game is really developed in a very interesting way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of character variety. There's a lot of stone variety, and even among the character variety, like when the one dude playing Morgan Sigma, the other one playing Morgan Sigma, they had different ideas, and they weren't always playing the same stone. It was really cool to see.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, again, game allows for a lot of imagination.
Indeed, it does. Yeah, it's very,
a lot
very cool.
of imagination. So. Okay, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was played there as well. 7th places were Psykillic, as well as Skills That Kills.
It's a good name.
It's a lot of SYs and Ks and stuff like that in 7th place. 5th place was Tubazo, 1989, as well as Jabril. 4th place, Frankie G. Oh, good job to Frankie G. 3rd place, Reedman P. 2nd place, Angelic, losing to 1st place, K-Brad.
Yeah, first place, K-Brad. He ended up doing really well. He blew up Angelic in the last set, but it was really good otherwise.
Angelic said he basically had 4 hours totals of sleep, like in the last 3 days.
And he was running the event,
dropping combos everywhere. So you know,
no big deal. But it was really cool. It's always cool to see Fizzy, aka Reedman.
Yeah,
I love the team. With Frank, he levels it up really well. Frankie G actually was up 2-0 over, I think it was K-Brad in winner's side top 8.
Oh, yeah.
And then K-Brad ended up making the full, or no, maybe it was Angelic actually. I think it was Angelic.
Okay.
Ended up making the full comeback, and then Frankie G got sent to losers and ended up getting 4th.
Oh,
that kind of sucks.
See, this is what always happens, right?
right?
When you lose a close one, you get mad at yourself, and then you can't recover, and you lose the next one. Fighting games, it's the craziest thing. You have to remember everything and remember nothing at the same time.
I know what you mean. Yeah, this was on twitch.tv. This was on twitch.tv/AZAngelic. Tubazo plays the grossest looking team. All right, Firebrand, Hulk up assist, Arthur. And
holy crap.
Yeah, it's like a pretty wild team. But he made it work, man. It was cool. It was cool.
Okay. Well, dude, that's actually kind of funny here. Okay, Tekken 7, I'll just do the top 4 here. Mr. Quentin in 4th place. 3rd place, Will Get Paid. 2nd place, Full Steel. 1st place, Sepulveda Jin.
All right.
Interesting, okay. Guilty Gear Exert Rev 2 singles. 4th place, Var Colin. 3rd place, Mike Ross.
Yeah, it was Mike Ross.
It was Mike Ross, really?
Yeah.
I can't tell if you're trolling.
I'm not. It really was.
It really was Mike Ross?
Yes.
Okay. 2nd place was Dead Spike, and 1st place was Dejixel.
Yeah, it was Mike. He was there playing. Played Venom. I mean, that's the character he used. I think that's super cool, and I also thought it was cool that like people weren't freaking out about it on the stream.
Oh, okay.
Commentators
cool.
were just like, yeah, it's Mike Ross. He clearly doesn't want to be like the face of things anymore. Totally cool with that. So if he just wants to play and hang out, that's awesome.
Okay, see, the more now I'm confident you aren't trolling me anymore.
I'm not trolling.
Okay. No, he uses Venom.
My bad. It was Axel.
Oh, he was using Axel?
Yeah, my bad.
Okay.
He played Venom previously. No, you're right.
And Stroder won Smash 4 Wii U singles. I would list the top 8, except that's the entire tournament.
Okay.
So, did not have a lot of people for there. But that was Undefeated. And again, I guess we'll talk about this during the 50-50 because like Red Bull Conquest had very similar, issues that not a lot of people knew about it. 3 different games there, really, really good matches, and the production there was ridiculous, okay? I mean, Red Bull did what they normally do. The venue that they had was super sick. They even had like an area where there was like a skateboarding ramp and basketballs, and people were like shooting basketball hoops outside, but it was just really well produced.
Okay.
And like I said, the matches were super good. The Street Fighter V Grand Finals between Dankadius and JB should not be missed. Like
I went back and watched it.
Oh, did you watch it? Yeah,
really
that
good.
Thing was super good. It was a great tournament there.
But shout outs to Angelic and everybody else who ran the event. I thought it was really cool to watch.
That's right.
I think it's really important to maintain tournaments for games that you care about, and he and the rest of the Marvel scene really cares about Marvel Infinite, Marvel 3. And, although those tournaments didn't get that many entrants compared to like a big major, everybody in them was legit. There was a lot of good players in Marvel Infinite and Marvel 3. So it was. I thought it was super fun to watch.
They had Yipes and Persia out there for commentary and everything like that. So
I would love to see that this stays going. As a Marvel event. I'd love to see more Marvel events for sure. But I think it's really important to maintain. An event where people know that they can go and play a game that they care about.
And we as a fighting game community have to do something more extra to put the shine on these events like that. Because Undefeated really didn't have that many views throughout the weekend, and that's really a shame. And, that hurts a lot of these events. That might make it so that they might not want to do it again because they would need to rely on some of those views and and you know, to be able to get better sponsors, to show like here's our numbers, to get even local sponsors, right? And also just ad revenue, et cetera, et cetera. So we need to help them out with that as much as I can.
Agreed. Again, that was on twitch.tv/azangelic.
Yep.
Check it out.
Also this weekend was Red Bull Conquest, which was a one-day tournament. This is part of the Red Bull Conquest series, which they have over a dozen cities throughout North America to represent. And basically, 3 games are played: Guilty Gear, Xrd Rev 2, Tekken 7, as well as Street Fighter 5. The winners of each of those games will form a 3-man team. And, you know, the idea is that they're all going to meet up in Washington, D.C. for the finals to find out which city is the strongest, et cetera, et cetera. So this was the L.A. branch, and as I was saying on stream, I think this one's a key one because you want to represent L.A. because L.A. and New York are always the strongest ones. And then also, if you're one of the other scenes, that's exactly who you want to beat. That's who you want to blow up.
For
so,
sure.
like, it's always, for me, it's always kind of like an important one, you know, to see who goes and represents those in those 2 cities in particular, because everyone wants to see them lose. Everyone wants to see them lose. So. In Guilty Gear, Xrd Rev 2, 7th places were Lord Zappa and Aether 9K. 5th place was Hirsch with Venom and Beautiful Dude with Zato. Beautiful Dude got sent to losers bracket by the Potemkin player. Shoot, the name. I tweeted it out and everything. I can't get the name. Someone in the chat, give me the name. There's an O in there somewhere. 4th place was Red Herb Faust. I want to call him like Optimal Prime, but that's obviously I'm thinking of a trade. Octopimp. Octopimp. That's what it was.
How could you forget that name?
Yeah, I know, right? Octopimp sent him to losers in like dominating fashion, but apparently Beautiful Dude came back and like won the run back. So there you go. 4th place Red Herb with Faust. 3rd place Vyro with Slayer. 2nd place Toki from San Diego with Axel. But 1st place and representing Guilty Gear will be Kizzy K with Sin Kisk.
All right.
The bully Kizzy K.
Yeah, is he a bully in that game?
Yeah, he's a bully in that game. So.
Hey. So Axel got 2nd and 3rd place this weekend. I thought the character wasn't good.
He's not good, but Toki is a really good player. Sure. Obviously, he's the one that does well with Krillin every week at Wednesday Night Fights. So he's just a very, very strong player. Plus, another thing with the latest patch to Rev 2, I personally don't know where he got moved to in terms of the tier. Maybe he got better. I'm actually not 100% sure. Fair enough. So Tekken 7. So the top 4 was streamed at the end. It was top 4 instead of top 8.
Gotcha.
So 7th place was UIU Suiken with Eliza and Shaheen, and Gallo with Nina and Brian. 5th place Paul Z with Eliza, and Shin Paulo with Akuma. And this was the sad part here, was in the top 4, like, only one true SoCal player was there. There's 2 NorCals and 1 San Diego.
Kind of SoCal.
Kind of SoCal. But the 4th place went to the SoCal, Way Gamble with Leo. And 3rd place was Twitch Shangles with Lucky Chloe. And 2nd place Incerity with Huarong. But 1st place did go to the San Diego representative, so we do at least have a SoCal rep. Yeah. Yan Flip with Xiao Yu.
All right, I'll allow it. Toki himself says that Axel is flat middle.
Flat middle. Oh, cool. He's in the chat. Nice.
What up, dude?
What's going on, Toki? So Axel isn't that bad. Good. That's also from Majin Obama as well. Good stuff. All right. Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition. 7th place, Dropkick Valiant. And 3rd Pixel Salyu were 7th place. 5th place was Chris Nguyen, Chris Nagu, as they call him, with Akuma. He's gotten really good.
Sure, he's good.
Really stepped it up, and he even won a Wednesday Night Fights recently. And the only non-true SoCal representative to make the top 8, 5th place, Flash with Urian from Vegas.
Well, so I guess he lives in Vegas. In
4th place, Filipino Man with Manat and Cammy. The Cammy did not work out for him very well.
That
3rd place,
weird,
well, he did it specifically to fight against Pinoy because he doesn't like Manat versus Bison. It's a bad matchup, so he tried Cammy. Didn't really work out. He switched to Manat, did way better, but then lost anyway.
Yeah, all right.
3rd place was Pinoy with M. Bison, also from San Diego. 2nd place, SonicFox JB with Rashid. And 1st place, Denka Diaz, 20-year-old Denka Diaz with Dulcim representing Los Angeles in a nail-biting grand finals.
Super close.
Yeah, it was a fun one. It was really
good
fun,
match.
So.
I definitely agree with you. Man, I love how Denki Diaz uses V-Trigger 2. His V-Trigger 2 usage, I think, is the best among all Super fun.
You can tell he probably goes into training mode and just shoots it around and keeps it on the screen forever.
I can tell you he
fun.
does that because I'm in the sim chat on Twitter.
Right.
And he came up with a lot of the interesting tech, for sure, for V-Trigger 2. He definitely puts time in.
Yeah, for some people asking about the San Diego thing, so just a little SoCal history. San Diego always hated being included as part of SoCal because they always wanted to be better than the Los Angeles people. So even back like in the Super Turbo days, you had Bob Painter and Milo Cooper and James Romney and Cooney and all those guys. They wanted to beat the Mike Watsons and Tomos and Jeff Schaefer's and all those guys, so it was like contentious. So they never wanted to be SoCal. They were San Diego, and then there was SoCal, which
it's even more. It's longer than that. Even like there's always been a kind of semi-local rivalry between San Diego and the greater LA area.
MVC2
same with Orange County. They don't want to be involved, but sorry, Bubs, you're part of LA area.
MVC2 was a big one with Shady K, Genghis, and Clockwork.
Right, for sure.
Clockwork being on the part of the group, even though he wasn't really truly from that area. But they were part of that as well. The San Diego crew that was always trying to take.
But like that's real sports and everything.
Exactly.
Long time thing.
Congratulations to Denka Diaz, Yan Flip, and Kizzy K. They'll all be representing at the Red Bull Conquest Finals that will be taking place in Washington, D.C. later.
There you go.
So
Santa Ana is not Los Angeles. What are you talking about?
It's too late now.
Sorry.
Especially with Esports Arena and Wednesday Night Fights being down there in SoCal now.
Sorry, everybody. Well, it's always been SoCal, but is it part of the L.A. area? Yes.
Right.
Yes, it is.
I think we talked about that.
Is it maybe... Did they change it? Is it now the Santa Ana Angels of Anaheim? It's not, right? I don't think it is.
Quiet, Big Bear.
I don't think it is.
He just gave us some bits to buy a hook for that frame.
Dang.
So our neighbor, one of our neighbors is doing construction work, and there's been a lot of sounds and stuff like that. And I think it loosened all of the all little 3M hangers that I have, and so that one's down. And I've been too lazy to put them back up, so I apologize.
So also E-League Group C.
That's right.
Happened. This was folks including Knuckle-Doo, Problem X, Berlino, Justin Wong, Smug, and Snake Eyes.
Yep.
And going into this, a lot of people picked Problem to make it out, but then also Justin.
Right.
That seemed like it was the most common couple of picks.
But interestingly enough, the round robin selection really kind of didn't reflect that.
No, it did not reflect that. So the results were that Berlino, Flipside Berlino, 1 and 4. He was last place. Then it was Echo Fox, Justin Wong, 2 and 3. Knuckle-Doo, 2 and 3. Oh, my bad. Yeah, a lot of people picked Do.
Oh, Knuckle-Doo, yeah.
It was basically Do, Problem X, or Justin. It was
right.
like what people
not even Smug.
Went in between. I don't know if anybody picked Smug.
Okay.
Third was Rise Smug, Boxer, of course, 3 and 2. Second was Mouse Sports Problem X with M. Bison and Abigail, 3 and 2. And then winner of the group stage, the round robin stage, was Red Bull Snake Eyes. He went 4 and 1 with Akuma Abigail. Mm-hmm. So then it came to the actual tournament itself. Justin Wong, last place.
Yep.
6th. 5th was Berlino. 4th was Knuckle-Doo. 3rd was Snake Eyes. And then qualifying in loser's side was Smug, and in winner's side was Problem X. Yep. So Problem X beat the European curse.
The E-League curse, right?
Yeah, at E-League, that both Phenom and Luffy fell prey to, of doing really well in the round robin stage and then not qualifying out of the actual tournament.
Well, I mean, Phenom got second place one year, right? I mean,
last year he did, but this year...
Oh, this year.
Yeah, this year in the previous 2 weeks of the group stages.
It's literally a 2-week-old curse, basically.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Anyway, it was good. It was good to watch. It was really cool. By the way, I really like Malik hosting.
Oh, as the host role,
I think he does a really good job.
Okay, that's cool. Cool.
I think that's pretty great.
Okay. I didn't get a chance to see much of it, so, okay. Also, this, I forgot, did we talk about this one? There's been so many results now here. There's already been 4 days of Rage results. And I watched some of it while lying in bed and just proceeding to fall asleep.
I have not, because it's too late for me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it is I mean, if it's late for me, that's because it's running at like 5 a.m., right? But
Kenley's been at work for an hour.
Jeez.
That's true.
Let's see. So okay. So in the last week, 3 more days have occurred.
Okay.
Of this event. So let me go through here. So day 2 results. Team Ocean versus Team Emerald. So Itazan versus Fujimura's team. That one went to Itazan's team, which was Itazan, Gachikun, and Machabo. And then also Team Itazan, they have the summary down at the end. Team Nemo defeated Team Tokido 3-2.
Okay.
So keep in mind that the way this goes, and I wasn't sure until I watched it a little bit, is that they play the actual team mode of Street Fighter V. And so they do that, and so they confer with each other who goes first, and then they decide who stands up second. Yeah, and third. And then whoever wins that is a point. And then they do 3 out of 5 that.
Okay.
So that's
how it's
how
just individual games.
Yeah, so it's individual games, but they do 3 out of 5 sessions of those teams.
Okay.
So Nemo beat Tokido's team 3-2. Then Daigo versus Moke's team, and Daigo won 3-1. That's Daigo, Sako, and Bonchan, which is a very Daigo team. And Dogura, Moke, and Haitani on the other team. On day 3, Fujimura's team defeated Tokido's team 3-2.
Okay.
So keep in mind, Tokido's team is winless at this point in time.
Really?
Yeah. That's Tokido, Mago, and Fudo.
Wow, I wouldn't have thought.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty crazy. And then Team Aurora Nemo versus Team Sunrise Moke. Moke wins 3-2. So these are really close. These are really close here. And these are all on Open Rec, by the way. You can't watch this on Twitch. Yeah. It's all on Open Rec. There is an app for it on the phone. That's how I watch it. Yeah, so I just watch Open Rec on the phone. But Team Ocean, which is Itazan versus Team Gold Daigo, Team Daigo won 3-1.
Boo.
And then the most recent day just happened, and this is the one that I did see some of it.
Okay.
First set was Itazan versus Tokido's team. Team Tokido won 3-2. It's the first time they managed to win. Then Team Nemo versus Team Daigo, and Team Nemo won that 3-1. Okay. That one was kind of, I kind of remember seeing a little bit, kind of a blow up.
Wait, is that the team that has Storm Kubo on it?
Yes, Storm Kubo is on Nemo's team.
Yay.
Yeah. Team Emerald Fujimura versus Team Sunrise Moke.
Okay.
That one went Team Fujimura's way, 3-1.
So what are the standings?
So
do you have that?
Let's see if they actually have the standings here. Let me close all these things. So currently the standings are Daigo's team is 3-1.
Okay.
Moke's team is 2. Okay, so they're all 2-2. So Moke, Itazan, Nemo, and Fujimura are all 2-2. Moke's team and Itazan's team are tied in terms of points. They're both +4. So I don't know if there's a tiebreaker that put them in that order of Moke then Itazan.
Probably playing against each other, right?
Mm-hmm, probably. That's my guess would be. Nemo is then at -2. Fujimura's team is at -3. And somehow Tokido's team with Mago and Fudo is at 1-3 in last place.
It's been a weird little time for Fudo. He's obviously so consistent throughout SF5's life, but recently hasn't had that success in major tournaments, and also didn't qualify through E-League. In fact, he got second to last or last in his group stage or something like that. And then now he's not doing that well. You know who I talked with about Fudo at E3 was Gerald. Right?
Of course. Yeah, LA Akira.
LA Akira. Longtime Virtua Fighter player. We were just chatting. He just brought it up, and he was like, talking about Fudo. That kid, you know. Of course, He was like, that kid, you know, he's so talented, but he just doesn't study. And he was like, all the other top players know it, and if only Fudo actually studied, then
nobody
he might
would ever beat him.
That's basically what he said. Yeah, but he said that sometimes other top players will bring in characters that they think Fudo hasn't game planned against. Like the one time that Momochi picked Zeku when Zeku was really new, he picked it against Fudo and he beat Fudo.
Right.
Because Momochi knew that Fudo wouldn't have actually spent the time to learn what Zeku does.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's like when Knuckle Dude lost to Twisted Rivera, and Twisted Rivera's like, now maybe you'll buy Alex.
Right. Yeah, so I think that's hilarious. Yeah. I just think it's hilarious, too, that
Fudo is the Jaywong of Japan.
Yeah, I guess, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Gerald calls him that kid.
Dude,
he's like at least 30.
Hey, but you know what? Gerald he's true old school.
He is true old school.
He is true old school. And I remember, too, because like he was really mad about that Street Fighter 30th documentary that came out, that 3-part documentary about an hour and a half long, because basically they didn't interview any of the old school people. Like, they're talking about classic Street Fighter 2. What are your thoughts, Punk?
Absurd,
like,
honestly.
Like, Punk is like not even as old as the game.
And not by a little bit either.
Yeah, I know.
He's a half dozen years younger.
The game wasn't even that. He wasn't even alive when the original Street Fighter 2 came out.
And like, not by a little bit. Like, he's considerably younger.
Right,
He's like 6 years younger?
Yeah.
Something like that. 7 years younger?
Yeah.
He's a youngin'.
Okay. All right.
Anyway.
So that was...
Anything else in terms of results going on?
Rage Esports. Let me see. Did I have anything else over here? I don't think I did in terms of results. No, I do not.
Alrighty. Well, you want to take an old break?
Yep. Let's take a breaky break.
So I can eat my potato and egg.
Let's take some breakity breaks. And when we come back, our brand new segment, the 50-50 matchup, where we debate all sorts of interesting topics. And you don't want to miss that because we've got some crazy topics for you.
What?
Anyways, okay, be right back, guys.
Here's the thing about rice the next day. It's not good if you just eat the rice, it's not going to be good. But for making fried rice, which is what I made.
Day 2 rice.
Day 2 rice is the rice that you use. Like rice that you make right there is not the best rice for fried rice. You want it to be like a little hard, I feel. That's what I prefer. So yeah, I just made fried rice with egg and I don't know.
Whenever my mom used to make fried rice, it was that way. She would cook rice the day before for dinner and then save the rest of it for fried rice. It was distinctly that way. But I will tell you the secret to reheating rice, okay? I can guarantee you this works, okay? Because I do this all the time. Take your bowl of rice, put the rice in there, splash some water on it, right? Take a paper towel, wet it, and use that as the top of that. Okay, you know this tech. And when you heat it, it steams it all up, and it's great. Great day 2 rice that way. So.
What do we got? What are we talking about? What's the 50?
Well, before we get into that, we missed one event, which was body count fighting. However, I don't have the results here, unfortunately.
We tried looking, both of us did, and I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any answers here. So it sounds like DeKill Sage took Dragon Ball Fighters in the DeKill Sage versus Supernoon matchup. Let's see if they have any other ones here. Scar took it over to Theo. So Scar beat Theo in their matchup. Let's see. I don't see if they have anything else here. Smug versus Phenom, they played each other. Let's see. Smug beat Phenom.
Oh, dang! All right.
Smug beat Phenom in that little match over there. So there you go. Those are the results that I do have from the body count fighting actual page, Twitter. So there you go. Okay.
Personally, what I do for fries is I put them in the frying pan.
You actually refry the fries, huh?
Sometimes, if I care about it. Okay. Sometimes I'll just eat it if I'm being lazy. But if I care about it, then I'll refry them.
Yeah. Also, if you want to reheat pizza, make sure you do it in the oven.
I do it also on a frying pan. That
works too. Both of them work really, really well. Because the thing is, in the oven, you put it on aluminum foil, and then the crust is crispy again. So that's key factor.
Crispy crust.
I've done it both ways, and the frying pan method is also very good.
50-50.
50-50.
Frying pan or bake it. How do you do it?
I do it by baking it because it's easier and I don't have to watch it.
Disagree. I think you have to watch it still. What are you talking about?
Just let it go, dude. You check every 5 minutes.
What? How long do you leave it in there for?
You can leave it in there for a while.
See, I put it up to a high heat. I'm talking, 425, something like that. And, 5-10 minutes at most.
Yeah, exactly. So just 5 minutes.
So you walk away once and you come back and it's...
Yeah, basically. And you check on it, so there you go.
All right.
All right, so here we go, 50-50 segment where we talk about debates and issues within the fighting game community and just kind of, talk about how we feel about certain topics, right? So this week, one of the first things that came up that a lot of people are talking about now is that SonicFox kind of came out. Well, I don't know how it started. Did he challenge Zero?
He blew in out of nowhere, dude.
So he did. He was just like, I'm going to beat Zero.
As far as I know, maybe I missed
Brothers.
the earlier genesis of it, but it seemed like he basically just blew in and was like, I don't care. I'm going after Zero.
Right.
He was just in there.
Of course, but then, of course, Zero doesn't like SonicFox because apparently he was a big fan at one point in time, but then walked up to him and said hi, but then SonicFox blew him up, and then something or other, that became copy pasta, But no. In actuality, so SonicFox kind of came in and challenged a little bit, and then Zero kind of accepted after a while, and they said, okay, I'll give you 3 months to train on Smash when the new Smash comes out to have a chance to beat me, and SonicFox is like, all right, and so now SonicFox is going after yet another top player in yet another game.
So FS Link says that Cosmos called SonicFox out, who's the Corrin player in Smash 4. And then SonicFox was defending himself and called out Zero as a challenge. So I missed that part.
Okay.
My bad. I didn't see that on Twitter.
Thanks for the update, FS Link. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so SonicFox entering, as you said, a new game against a top player.
Like Zero, right?
Not just a top player, but like super dominant when he was playing.
One of the most dominant players of any game of all time.
Ever.
Right, including guys like SonicFox in Injustice 1 and such. So the question is, 3 months training time. 3 months, he's going to give SonicFox 3 months training time. Obviously, SonicFox, amazing player.
Correct.
Very strong. Obviously can learn anything. Blew up Filipino champion MVCI.
Dunked him.
Eventually defeated Goichi. Do you think in 3 months that he can defeat Zero?
Sure, I think he can.
Yeah?
I think he can. Would I bet on it? Probably not. Actually, definitely yes. But do I think it's going to happen, which is more accurate?
Okay.
Probably not.
Okay.
I think there's definitely a chance, though. He's basically taken out some of the most storied people in other games. Goichi is one of the all-time great players across a host of different games. Dragon Ball FighterZ is the biggest fighting game in the world right now and has been for a little while. And SonicFox, at least for a while, was the best player at it. Maybe it's Hook Gang God now. I don't know. But at least for a while, and certainly still SonicFox is top 2. Like whether the other person is Goichi or Hook Gang God or whatever,
right.
SonicFox is definitely top 2 in the biggest fighting game in the world. He blew up everybody in Marvel that he played anyway. He didn't go to some of the majors, so he didn't show up to Battle for the Stones. But he did blow up almost everybody that he played in that game, including Filipino champ. And it was a blow up.
Okay.
I think once you've done those things, you basically show that you can beat anybody. The reason that I am concerned in this case for him is that Smash is a more different game than the other games that he's tried to pick up. It is a separate thing in many ways. Obviously, it shares commonalities with other fighting games, but there's a lot of distinct stuff that really only applies in Smash. And it's hard to get a handle on those things with only 3 months. Even if you're a genius at fighting games, you just haven't seen all of the interactions in a way that like Zero would have already seen.
Right.
He's seen every interaction in Smash 4, and SonicFox hasn't. And that just really comes with time. It's not about like, are you smart or not? How quickly do you pick up games? It's like, have you seen the things yet? So I think that's going against him. And Zero, on top of that, is as dominant as anybody's ever been in any game. When it came, I mean, he didn't lose in Smash 4 for a year. It was crazy.
Right, yeah.
So
he had like 53 tournament wins in a row or something
wild.
like that. Yeah.
I will tell you that I think that at least at the start that Smash 4 competition wasn't the deepest. A lot of the top players were people who had started playing games competitively relatively recently, and that doesn't inspire confidence in me in terms of how strong they are. But Zero maintained that over a year, and he still was really good after that. And I think he's a super, super good player.
Okay.
Super. So I think that like the mountain is harder for SonicFox to climb in this than almost any other new game plus new player combination. I wouldn't expect it to work out for him in 3 months. In 6 months, I'm definitely putting that on SonicFox for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think he has a chance in 3 months. I don't think SonicFox can do it.
Okay.
I don't think he has. I don't think that's going to happen because Zero is a dominant player, unlike any kind of dominant player that we've seen before, right? And Smash is a completely different game,
it is.
Right? And Zero is probably on that same level. Because if you also remember, Zero also played in the Final Fantasy Dissidia tournament and was doing super well.
I mean, he's clearly a talented player just in general.
The guy who was training him and I forgot who he was playing, it was like him and Nairo, was like he couldn't believe how fast they were picking things up and stuff like that. Zero is probably on the level that SonicFox is. And I wouldn't give Zero a chance to learn Injustice in 3 months and beat SonicFox.
That seems unlikely to me,
right.
too.
So I don't think that SonicFox has a chance at all.
Okay.
I think he's going to get blown up, right?
Blown up even?
Oh, yeah. Free. Because, look, here's the thing, right? Let's take a look at a game like Smash Melee, right?
Okay.
And we've had the same 5 gods. Yeah. One of them is kind of retired now for how many years now?
It's been a while.
And there's all these amazing players who obviously can do all the tech, who have been playing as long as they have.
I'm not sleeping on the competition level on that game,
right,
that's for sure.
Exactly, but they can't catch up.
Yeah.
They can't win. They can't get better than the gods. The gods are still winning, right? There's something about the way the game works and the way you
Melee,
think.
at least, I think that's true.
Yeah, Melee. But I think a lot of it has to do with just Smash Brothers as well. I think there's just a mindset to that game that is very different than what we expect out of fighting games. Fighting games are very exact. They're very precise. You can actually expect the same thing happening, but Smash is not like that. You know what I mean? It's very fluid, exactly. And it's a very different mindset. And Zero is exceptional enough with that many people chasing after him. I mean, if you've won 53 in a row, you have that target on your back, right?
Sure.
SonicFox hasn't even been able to last that long in Injustice, right? People targeted him and they beat him, right? So I don't really think that there's a chance in 3 months. I think in 6 months he may be able to do something, but to be honest with you, I think this time he might have bitten off more than he can chew. I don't think that this is going to happen.
I mean, like I said, I would bet on Fox just because, I don't know, that seems fun. I wouldn't expect him to win.
Right.
But I do think that he has a chance. If this was like him trying to get into Melee, cut it. I would not for sure expect that to work out. But in Smash Ultimate, which is going to be at least a little bit different than Smash 4,
right?
And he has the next 6 months to play Smash 4 before that even comes up, and then 3 months on top of that. I feel like it's like a reasonable chance, and he has a lot of players in his local area that are really strong. To Kill Sage, like his best friend was a really strong Smash player, for example. But there are other players in the area too. So he's got the people around him to teach him. I feel like the biggest impediment to him being able to do this is how interested he'll be in actually doing it.
Right.
Because that means, I mean, realistically, if you're going to have a chance, that's got to be like the game for him for the next 6 months.
Right.
And I don't see him dropping Dragon Ball and Injustice and whatever happens
to
other
get
than
good
that.
At this, right?
Yeah, I feel like that is more of the concern for me. So
I feel like the biggest chance that he has in this is that it is a new game. Right, that it is a new game, but again, there's just going to be so many of those fundamentals that he's going to be able to stick with that Zero is just going to have from playing these games. And even something like beating Goichi in Dragon Ball, I mean, to be fair to Goichi, everyone was learning the game at the same time, right? So it's a brand new game, right? Like, would SonicFox be able to beat Goichi in Melty Blood in 3 months?
Maybe not. Hard to know.
Right? Hard to say that. So honestly, the biggest advantage is the biggest downside to Zero, brand new game. Biggest boost to SonicFox is he does have a bunch of friends, right? The Echo Fox team, to Kill Sage, Mewtwo King, those guys have been, MK Leo would be able to help him out a lot, and I'm sure they would love to see SonicFox take out.
MK Leo said that he doesn't want to see SonicFox win because he wants to be the first person to dethrone Zero, which I respect.
Okay. I like that. So. But yeah, no, I mean, I think it'll be a hard road for SonicFox. And, also another thing, too, like, it's interesting because SonicFox actually had a tweet, too, where, it was kind of like a both sides of the argument kind of thing. But he was like, I don't think Smash is a fighting game, but I think, like, the dedication required to that game is immense and really, really difficult.
And in his view, the fact that it's not a fighting game doesn't discredit it in any way. It's just a different... he just feels it's different.
It's a competitive game that has
I feel like it's a fighting game, but it's regardless, obviously a competitive game.
Exactly. But he does acknowledge that how much goes into that game, you know, and how much the mindset in there. Obviously SonicFox is a great player, and if there was anybody who was going to come from the non-Smash fighting game community that could possibly go and defeat Zero in Smash Ultimate in 3 to 6 months, you can't pick a better person, okay?
I don't think so.
I'm not even gonna front on that.
Yeah.
Is he gonna beat Zero in 3 months? I think my 6 months is where your 3 months is. In 6 months, maybe he would have a chance.
Yeah.
But in 3 months, I think he's done.
Okay.
Especially because, like you said, he can't dedicate all of his time to the game.
Like, I hope he does. But, the FGC is deep enough now, competitive enough now, that even for him, he can't play multiple games and expect to win them all still. I mean, he hasn't been doing. When Dragon Ball, when Marvel Infinite, he was playing that game a lot. He didn't do well at E-League.
Right.
In Dragon Ball, since that game's been out, at Combo Breaker, he didn't win Injustice. He didn't win Skullgirls. He didn't win MK9. Those in the past have been basically. Injustice is not a walk, but the other games were walks, now they're not, because you have to actually dedicate yourself now in a way that's kind of new for him, at least. So which of those games does he not want to make top 8 in? Is it the one that pays $20,000 if you win? You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. Like, you should stick with it. I think it would be really cool if he actually did get good at Smash Ultimate. I think that'd be sick. I don't expect that he's actually going to spend the time to do it. The
only thing that would make me sad, is if he does play the game and doesn't use Fox. He'd be Echo Fox, SonicFox, Fox. I know, I don't think he is either, but that makes me sad.
I hear you.
Echo Fox, SonicFox, Fox. That's like UIU, right? I mean, you gotta have that happen, so.
I'd bet on him. I'd put money on him. I wouldn't put a lot. And I would ask for odds.
Okay, fair enough.
I'd do it.
Enough. Oh, he could use Sonic. That's right. If he main Sonic and subbed Fox, that would even be more perfect.
Interesting.
We'll see. We'll see. So, okay. Echo Fox, Sonic.
I feel like he should just play Diddy or somebody that's just strong, but not like.
Well, I mean, if he learns.
I'm talking about Smash 4.
Right. If he learns Smash 4, yeah.
Obviously, we don't know necessarily what the tiers will be like in Ultimate.
And, that definitely will give him a slight advantage as well if he does practice in 4 right now.
He should definitely, if he intends to have any chance, he should definitely be doing that.
So then that means he wouldn't do it in 3 months. He'd have done it in 8 months.
Well, Smash 4...
Yeah, but still...
Smash Ultimate is the new game, right? Anyway, we'll see how that happens.
Okay. All right. Next topic I kind of want to talk about as well, about Smash Brothers. Melee, one of the things that a lot of people have been talking about with Smash Ultimate is how much it seems like they're trying to appeal to Melee players, right? But I've gone online and I've seen a lot of Melee players say that they still don't like it. They're like, as soon as you put in wave dashing in the game, I'll play it, or things like that. And do you feel like I feel like there's still a little bit of pushback, and I've seen some top players being like, I'm a Smash fan, I love Melee, and I even dislike the kind of attitude that some Melee players are having towards the game. Do you feel like it is kind of something that Melee players should do? Do you feel like it's like kind of their duty to learn Smash Ultimate, No? No?
Well, why bother? I mean, if they have a game that they care about, I don't see any reason to have to pick up the next one. That's been the case throughout the other games. Certainly there are players who stuck with Super Turbo and with Alpha 2 and Alpha 3 and Third Strike and CVS 2 and Marvel 2. I mean, every game has people who just stick with it. And Melee more than any other, for sure. Why leave if that's the game that you love, right? I mean...
Well, it's not even necessarily leave Melee. But what about just Armada, Mango, and Hungrybox need to become strong competitors in Smash Ultimate. They need to become people who can make top 8s in that game and consistently play it in tournaments. You know what I mean?
I feel like if they were to allocate some other amount of time to not playing Melee, that they're going to get got. in Melee, and that's what matters to them, is playing Melee and winning Melee. I mean, it's like super obvious from their conversations, even from just at E3. Hearing conversations about how somebody, now who was it? Somebody was asked about how they feel Smash 4 is, and their response was Melee's the best. It's like it was something like that. Those guys are never going to leave, and I don't feel like they need to. The scene it built itself, really, so there's no sort of outside need. They're not making $1 million doing what they're doing, but
Mango said that.
It was Mango, okay, yeah. Yeah, Melee is sick. Yeah, it was a hilarious story. As long as they're okay with not making millions of dollars,
right?
Stick with it.
I mean, but here's the thing, right? As a competitor like them, if they're in that attitude, like, oh, this game still sucks, don't you think that kind of like affects the public?
Well, I don't think that they should actively crap on a new game. I'm definitely down with that. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to be a jerk about things.
Because here's the thing, right? We were talking about this a little bit on BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, right? We've had some people saying that they don't like Cross Tag Battle because it's not BlazBlue. It's like, stop expecting it to be BlazBlue. Just because it's called BlazBlue doesn't mean it has to play like that at all, right? And I feel like, one of the things that some of these players might want to learn is how to just play a different game, and it might actually come back and make their Melee game stronger in a weird way. You know what I mean? If they
sure,
just
that's been our experience, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. As people who have done this, and keep in mind, Third Strike is probably Third Strike and MVC2, maybe the most insular communities of the Capcom fighters, or of the non-Smash Capcom, and I get bugged by that too, right? Like one of the reasons why I crap on Third Strike all the time isn't even because I actively dislike the game, but it's because people are always. Like I said, I don't like pairing. But a lot of people talk about how it's the greatest game of all time, and they refuse to play everything else.
Yeah.
And in fact, when Happy Tang's like, this is the stupidest thing in Street Fighter 4, and Third Strike is the only game that doesn't do it. Right. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, like, get your head out of your ivory tower here, learn some other things and gain some knowledge about what's going on in all the other games and everything like that. So, with those players involved in Smash Ultimate, like if we could get Mango and Hungrybox and all these guys playing Smash Ultimate, like I feel like that could bring that scene to an even greater place, and something that Nintendo would actually, like they could start backing it. But if they were in there, like if that was the continued story of the Smash, was like now Hungrybox is killing everybody in Smash Ultimate, everyone would watch that, and Nintendo would be like, hey, now maybe we might actually put in a pot bonus into Evo. Yeah, kind of thing. I can see that happening, sure. I personally feel like so Hungrybox and Mewtwo King's a given. I mean, obviously he plays all of them. Hungrybox interested as well. I just feel like that there should be a lot of these players giving it a shot. I have seen, like I said, some Melee players that are just like, it's not exactly like Melee, so I don't want to play it. And and there's a part of me that gets frustrated by that, like, because like I said, even when MVC2, everyone was mad at that. I was like, don't play MVC3 like you think it's MVC2, otherwise you're going to hate it. It's a different game.
Oh, sure.
Third Strike, same kind of thing. I'm like, stop just being obsessed with just this one game. Sure. Like, there's all these other great games. Even within Street Fighter community, go play Guilty Gear, go play Tekken, go play all these different games. I've always been kind of that mindset. So, even within Smash, I feel like a lot of these guys should play it. Do I feel like it's their responsibility? Do I feel like that they're obligated to do it? Obligated is a hard word. Yeah. I would not use that word. And in fact, if someone like Mango was like, like, fuck Smash Ultimate, I don't want to play that garbage, it is what it is. I think that's probably what's happening. Yeah, it is what it is. And I'm not going to be like mad at Mango about it or anything like that. But
I think they should just play what they want to play. If they like Smash Ultimate, cool. I for sure, you're right that if they were to all play Smash Ultimate, that would be better for the Smash Ultimate scene, obviously. But there's no requirement that they do so, and if they want to keep Melee going, that's cool. I like playing the games that I care about, and right. if I do like other games too. I like playing multiple different games, but I wasn't always like that. And during that time, I would just keep playing ST and Third Strike. Right. I did that for like almost 10 years. I didn't feel like I was missing out on much. In retrospect, maybe I was, but that wasn't how I felt about it. And if they feel the same way, if they want to keep with Melee, more power to them.
Yeah, one thing that is kind of encouraging though is that obviously when Brawl came out, that was the height of the Melee, we hate this new game version.
Yeah, I mean, it went from Melee, which is super sick, to having trips. Like, it's
tripping and being half the speed.
Yeah.
Right?
You know.
And then Smash 4 came out, and what Smash 4 I feel like did was prove that both games can coexist.
Yeah, definitely.
Really well. I don't think anyone playing Smash 4 will probably stick with Smash.
That game is going to be done.
Yeah, so, but in that case, like, I'm hoping that a lot of the Melee players realize that, like, accepting and playing Smash Ultimate is not a threat to Melee's existence.
Yeah.
More just like, I can play this game, I can support it, I don't have to talk down about the game.
I'm with you on that. They shouldn't talk down about it.
Right.
But
exactly.
If they want to just keep playing their own stuff, then that's cool.
I did keep playing Street Fighter 2. But actually, when Street Fighter 3 came out, that's all I played.
Yeah.
That was all I played. And then when Second Impact came out, that's all I played. I only did not play Third Strike because I graduated from college.
Right.
And I just wasn't around the arcades at around that time to get good at the game.
Right.
And by then, I had already started hating parries by the time Second Impact was around.
That was a common perspective.
Yeah.
At the time, for a long time. Really.
I always went to the new games.
Yeah.
Everyone, and playing ST was barely a thing if it wasn't for ST Revival.
Right, no, for
If it wasn't for that ST Revival group, we wouldn't even barely be talking about ST right now.
Throughout the Zeros, very few people actively played Super Turbo. It was hard to get your hands on. There was not a good port that you could easily play.
Yeah, exactly.
So that game was really basically gone for a decade.
Yeah.
Just a few examples otherwise. So.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's cool. Anything else on that one?
No, we can move on to another.
I got one for you.
Okay. We had a couple of improvised ones we were going to do, but go for it.
Yeah, I got one.
Okay.
So the Injustice scene has been on a downturn.
Okay.
It has the fewest entrants at EVO. It has few entrants at CEO. It didn't have that many at Combo Breaker. Game is a year old, right? It's not that old. A lot of people on the scene are clamoring for a Mortal Kombat 11 announcement, not just because they want to play the game, but because they feel like the scene needs it.
Interesting. Okay.
Just in order to keep going. What do you feel about that? Do you feel like there needs to be a Mortal Kombat 11 announcement?
Well, for me, what are people kind of picking as the problems with Injustice?
Oh, that maybe it's boring, or that it's not the characters they care about, or it's not the game engine that they care about. It's not the IP, it's not the same IP. The NRS scene has just general fighting game players, but it also has a lot of, as Eris says, dragon tattoos. People who are just in it for the MK.
Right.
Just Mortal Kombat players. And some of them also play Injustice, but like it's definitely about Mortal Kombat. So that's part of it. But yeah, some players think that it's a little boring. Some players think that it's not that interesting.
Okay.
Or they don't like the clash mechanic. Like there's different complaints about it.
Okay. My answer really kind of depends on whether or not, like, what the problems with Injustice are. Does it feel like maybe also that it's just not as interesting because someone like SonicFox keeps winning a lot of times?
It's not even it, man. I mean, Tweety just won Combo Breaker, for example.
That's right.
So if anything, there are more up-and-coming strong players now than maybe ever in NRS history. I mean, Injustice 2 might be the most volatile since MK9.
Probably, maybe they should announce an MK11 soon, because, to be honest with you, MK is still the heart of the NRS scene, right? Is. MK, it's the reason why I'm so high on Street Fighter and what it can do for the fighting game community. It's the IP, it's the brand, it's the decades of loyalty kind of thing, right? Even if you're brand new to the scene, knowing that there is that history, like, to be able to go back and be like, Jeff Schaefer was the greatest Dhalsim player in hyper fighting, you're kind of like, ooh, if you're a Dhalsim fan. Or if you're like, Tomo was the greatest Guile in Street Fighter 2, you're a Guile fan, you're like, ooh, even if you're a brand new Guile fan. There's this kind of history. And that's so important, in my opinion, to the spread and preservation and also the proliferation of any sort of product, right? Which is why I've always been saying Street Fighter, I feel like, has to be the game that takes us into the next level of esports, or whatever like that, right? And Mortal Kombat has always been in that position as well, except it's just too violent, right? But for the NRS scene, I feel like a lot of the players probably that is where their heart truly lies.
Yeah.
You know, just to be able to get Scorpion and hear, get over here again,
sure.
and, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, I could, if we want to break the NRS cycle, it's probably best to break it on Mortal Kombat than it is to break it on Injustice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, announcing a new Mortal Kombat maybe at EVO and then resting a little bit on that might actually work out a little bit better.
I think I agree with you, to be honest. If there was going to be any point to disrupt the schedule, probably during an MK game would be better. But this has been the NRS cycle for a long, and I don't just mean the product cycle. I mean that the first year of the game is active, and then the second year is not as active. It's been like that for the last 3 games.
Right.
So I'm not concerned for the NRS community, because this to me is just how it goes. Like, there are people who play the game when it comes out, maybe the first year, and then it drops off a little bit. But by the way, if you want to try playing online, 1 million people are still on there. I don't know the exact numbers, but like, you go on there and there's no problem finding anybody to play
Quote
against.
David now, 1 million players are still playing right now.
Yeah, probably never has been like that, but enough people that you never feel like you're you're spending a lot of time trying to find the next casual or ranked match. It's like very easy to do.
Right.
So I don't feel like it's necessary from the scene perspective, because I think that this is just how it goes. But that said, if there is going to be a change in the production cycle, I want them to say it. I want them to just say, like, hey, we're not going to have an MK game announced for the next while. Get used to Injustice. Hopefully there's some new announcement for Injustice as well, if that's going to be the case. But I just want certainty. It's like what I've always wanted out of NRS. They became super good in Injustice 2 about not overpatching. So they did that, but they never at any point said, we're not going to be like we were previously about patching. So everybody came into Injustice 2 still expecting it's going to be the same wild patches. I mean, everything's going to be the same. So I just want certainty about it. Are you going to announce it or not? Let us know. And if you are not, then say how long Injustice is going to last, so people can just play it if they care about it, and drop it if they don't.
I mean, I thought it was super cool that Sakurai was like, look, we worked hard putting everyone back in there, so just don't expect any new characters, okay? Because I'm sure if he didn't say that, everybody would be like, boy, I can't wait to see who they add besides Ridley, you know, and stuff like that. So kind of having that, you know, that candidness, right? The open, the direct communication.
That's what I want. That's really what I want. So. And I think in general, NRS is really good about that, especially compared to some of the other FG developers. But I want more certainty on this. So for me, I am personally happy about it, because I really enjoy Injustice 2. It's my favorite game right now, and has been since it came out. But I know that for many people that's not the case. It's just that I like getting into games deeply. You know, like I appreciate playing games for 15 years, 20 years, because I feel like I still learn stuff.
Right,
even still. So having one game with Injustice 2, we all have ideas about how characters work and what the matchups and tier lists are.
There's a lot of characters in that game.
There are. And they're unique enough that, you know, it's taken a while for some of those characters to really get burned like they may have been able to do the whole time. So how could it change if we actually played the game for 5 years? I think it could change a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be fascinating to see. It's just I want to know what the schedule is either way. So anyway.
Fair enough.
I think you're probably right that if there's going to be a delay in the production cycle, during an MK game is probably the best way to do it.
Yeah, because I mean, even when we were at Game Over, people were playing MK9. Right? They were still playing MK. Yeah. I'm sorry, not MK.
Oh, there was people. Actually,
yeah, it was 9. It was 9.
But there's also MKX being played, of course.
Right. Yeah. Both of them were being played. So, and it was interesting because even there, we talked to some of the players in the Dominican Republic. They're like, yeah, they're just not into Injustice.
Dude,
they just like Mortal Kombat.
It's not just them.
Yeah. So I think that's probably stop, like, kill the cycle on MK more than anything. So I think that's more important. So.
I mean, in the meantime, like I said, I think that the scene is actually in a pretty good spot. I do think that there are new up-and-coming players and have been for a while. And I think that the matchups and stuff are still changing in an interesting way. So
yeah, and it seems like the storylines as well are very good too, with Dragon and all these other guys actually being able to beat SonicFox. If SonicFox was the only guy winning up to this point in time, yeah, the scene would probably be gone. But
having Tweety win Combo Breaker was big news. There are several strong up and coming players, people who even in their teens, who are doing really. Deoxys just did really well at Texas Showdown. It's, you know,
okay,
things are changing.
Okay.
Anyway,
well, I did have one more thing, but I don't even know if this is necessarily a debate or anything. Just more like a what the hell can we do?
Okay.
But you know, Undefeated. What you said was like 500 viewers. Peaking kind of thing. Red Bull,
maybe
Conquest,
a little higher than that, but yeah.
Peaking at around 1,500, 1,600 viewers. I mean, that's small, and there were some great matches and good stuff going on in those events, right? I was talking to some people about it, like, you know, it sucks that the numbers are so low. They've tried to promote it, they advertise it and everything like that, and, you know, what do you think the problem is, and how do you think we can fix it? I mean, I can go first if you want me to, but, like, my answer is I just think Twitch sucks, right? Like, it's nobody browses Twitch, right? And when you browse Twitch, you browse the game that you are interested in. So if for something like Red Bull Conquest or Undefeated, we play multiple games on the channel, right? So if you're a Street Fighter fan, you're going to go to the Street Fighter page, and you're going to go browse the Street Fighter page, and they just happen to be playing Dragon Ball. They just happen to be playing Tekken at the time. So you don't even know it's there. So you shut it down, and you're like, nothing's happening this weekend, and you don't see it, right? And when we're at Game Over, big tournament, nobody's watching it because it's a brand new channel. No one's subscribed to the channel and everything like that. It's really hard to find things that you actually care about on Twitch. And Twitch kind of presents the rich get richer kind of format. You know what I mean? And I know when I go through Twitch and I'm like, is there a fighting game event on? I have to be like, okay, let me check Street Fighter. Okay, let me check Tekken. Okay, let me check Dragon Ball. And you forget certain games, and after a while you're just like, I don't feel like browsing this anymore, you know, kind of situation. So I just think that we need a better aggregate location of like where fighting game streams are or something like that. But I don't know what the answer to it necessarily is, but it makes me sad that a lot of these events don't get a lot of play. You know, like we could be at Kuwait Battle Royale and we're like, hey, check out this cool Middle Eastern, you know, like competition here, and it's just the best we can do is just tweet about it. But what's beyond our tweet reach is everything else, and we can't reach that, you know.
Well, I would say that I think a lot of people browse Twitch regularly. I think that's really common. But it's not as common for niche games. And fighting games are niche. Even the most popular fighting game is niche. Compared to many of the other games out there. So
I mean, people are browsing for Fortnite.
Not just Fortnite, but a lot of other stuff. There are people who make their livings as variety streamers, and part of why that works is that people do browse for other games. But that doesn't happen as much for fighting games.
But the variety streamers also, they succeed because, one, they're popular already and everyone's following them.
I mean, sure, but they had to get there.
Right.
And part of why they got there is that people can browse for other games, because, you know, if you look at the top 20 games on Twitch, there's a bunch of different games, and they're all like right up there at sort of the top. So you know, you're not going to maybe scroll down to page 5 where you're going to find a fighting game, but for other games it's more doable.
One of the funniest things though, I will say though, is that sometimes I'll see a random game in like the top 5.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And I look at it and I'm like, Maximilian, and I click it, Maximilian.
Dang, that's pretty. Yeah.
A lot of times it's him.
You mean a fighting game specifically?
No, and sometimes even just like a completely like random like platform game or something like that. But I was just like, this seems odd. Probably Maximilian, and it's him. So
no, I mean, look, for us, I would love to have a better way to search through fighting games on Twitch, because for more niche games, or maybe for a community that is not built on one game, most of the communities are built on a single game. Fighting games are not like that, so it's harder to find good fighting game action because it's not just one thing that you subscribe to. I'd like another way to do that. It's just maybe hard to do considering how Twitch is designed.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Some people do browse it, but like I said, the harder part is that if something like Undefeated starts up, and only has 500 viewers, it's going to be way at the bottom.
For sure, absolutely.
You're going to browse, you're going to be like, oh, there's no Marvel going on, because you're just not even going to scroll that far down, right? Because fighting games are a niche esport.
Are they niche, huh? What am I, French? Come on.
I've always pronounced it niche. Is it?
It's fine. Both of them are fine.
But yeah, Twitch is in a hard place because it really is designed to be a rich get richer kind of schematic.
Yeah.
And like, it's very hard for smaller streams to get in there. And so like an event like Red Bull Conquest this weekend should have probably been streamed on Level Up instead of Red Bull Esports. But that's all a legal mess all in itself, right?
Yeah, it's difficult to do.
So it's hard. It's like, if it's not on Team Spooky, if it's not on Level Up, it's not on Capcom Fighters, it's not on Tekken, like, people just don't know about it. And it's a frustrating thing. The only reason why I bring it up is not just because of this weekend, not just because of Undefeated and a Red Bull Conquest, but because of something like Game Over and like Kuwait Battle Royale. Now, obviously, Kuwait Battle Royale and some of those events are tough because time zone problem.
Yeah, okay.
The majority of the audience is in America, probably, that's watching these fighting games. But, you know, still, Game Over was definitely within the American time zone frame, you know, and Red Bull and Undefeated obviously were as well. And it hurts me. It gets me angry that it's so hard for these channels to get the views. And it's not even just like when you hear about it, if it's that weird thing where if you see it's not on the channel that you're familiar with, you're probably like, it's probably not legit. You know what I mean? There's that weird mindset to it too. Oh, it's not on Team Spooky, it's probably still whatever, you know. So I don't know, it's kind of frustrating. So
yeah, hopefully we find a solution to that. It is tough.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So guys like Eris can spread. So someone in the chat says that you know, Eris had gotten him to follow the Tekken channel. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So there's definitely those kind of situations out there, but it's very rare. So it's very rare. Oh, there is a Dragon Ball Fighters channel now, huh? Okay. To niche get nicher. That's actually the complete opposite of the truth, but you know, the niche don't get nicher.
Well, they stay as niche, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Can viewers provide topics for the 50/50 segment? Absolutely, Peter0611. Send us a tweet at UltraChenTV or at jchensor or at UltraDavid or all three of them at the same time. Give us topics that you'd like us to talk about, and we will be more than happy to look for those and add that to our lists.
Alrighty.
All right.
I'm happy to keep Bane bombing people for the foreseeable future myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to take a quick break? Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk about BBTAG and then just whatever random fighting game.
BBTAG.
Okay. Be right back, guys.
What up? All right, let's talk about BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, aka the only video game that I've been thinking about over the past while. Okay. Actually, I played Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild yesterday, so that's not.
Oh, nice. True, okay.
Which I've come to really like. But anyway, let's talk about BBTAG. So BBTAG, I feel like has been picking up steam before it came out.
Well, didn't Steam pick it up though?
Before it came out, very few people were talking about it. When I tried the demo, I didn't come into it thinking that like it would be good, really. I just didn't think about it either way. I didn't think it would suck. I just like wasn't considering it.
Right.
And it turned out to be super awesome.
Okay.
For me, it's my favorite versus style game since Marvel 3.
Okay, so you like it more than MVCI even, huh?
More than MVCI. What else has come out? Dragon Ball, Skullgirls. Yeah.
Okay.
There's not that many entrants in the versus style category,
right?
But yeah, it's my favorite. Dude, I think that it does the things that Marvel Infinite did that I loved. I feel like BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle basically does those better for the most part.
It almost feels like you would have been happier if MVCI did have a partner meter to limit, maybe.
So my favorite part about Marvel Infinite is that you can freely tag. I think that's super cool.
Okay.
I wouldn't change that. But what I like about BBTAG is that you have to think about the partner usage more because of the meter. That's true. So you can tag very often for sure, and you can assist call very often. But you can't always call an assist while you have another move out because that costs meter, right? That costs partner tag meter. So
let me ask you this question though: where does MK9's multi-character mode come into?
Actually, it was better than I think people thought. It was really broken for sure, but it was really fun at the same time.
Anyway, so yeah, go on.
So I really like the partner meter. I think that's really cool. It's all the characters are very unique. They pick the right characters for it. I think they're all really cool, unique characters. Even the ones that are the same, like Hyde and Yu, they're the same guy, but they actually play differently. So it's cool. I love it in general. So the DLC characters have come out. The first set of DLC characters, I guess there's supposed to be more, but the first set of them have come out. I've talked a little bit about how the other characters were already. I've been playing Wald and Tager. I think that team is basically the Hulk Hagar of BBTAG.
Sounds about right.
They're just big old dudes who are total buttholes, and you can do a lot of things that other characters in the game can't really do.
Right.
So you're just a big jerk. It's really a lot of fun. What do you think about doing anti-air grab with Tager, right? And the B version takes a little while to start up. So you do anti-air grab with Tager, then you call Wald, then you turn him into the point character. So you got the anti-air grab up here, and then you do command grab super on the ground.
How do you get away from that?
Well, I mean, you
haven't seen anyone get away from it.
No, every character has an invincible DP, so if nothing else, you can do that.
Right.
Well, almost every character. But you can probably backdash, I guess. I don't know. There's ways out of it. It's just you get to be such a jerk. It's cool. So I'm really having a good time. New characters have come out as of yesterday night, so I don't know that I can speak on them definitively yet, but just my quick rundown is that they all seem pretty good. They're Jubei, Hakumen, Aegis, Naoto, Carmine, Batista, and Yang. So Yang is the character that was made for this game. Which comes from some anime series.
The Ruby series. It's not even an anime.
Whatever.
It's by Monty Ohm. He's the guy who did all the little CG fight scenes a long time ago. He did a Dead or Alive versus, what game was it that he did? It was Dead or Alive versus Soul Calibur or something like that. And he just would animate a bunch of fight stuff, and eventually he got his own series called Ruby. So,
all right. Well.
Yeah, and he passed away recently too, which is actually really sad.
Not gonna make light of it.
Yeah, because the thing is, he passed away before this all even happened too, which kind of sucks.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was planning to rip on it.
It was Final Fantasy. That's what it was. DOA versus Final Fantasy. That's what it was. Okay.
So Yang seems pretty interesting. She has a ton of auto guard. It's like KOF style, just guard point, right? So as you're attacking, you're not necessarily taking damage. You're just moving on through.
Right.
She's got a lot of that stuff. She's got command grabs. She seems like a big bully.
Okay.
Good damage.
I'll try her out.
Pretty good movement, especially for that style. Batista, I'm a little disappointed by, but that's just how it's just. Her transition to this game is just going to be like that.
Does she still have charge attacks at all?
No, yeah. Every character is only quarter circle back and quarter circle forward. That's all there is. So for Batista in Under Night, of course, she had reverse sonic boom and reverse flash kick motions, which meant that as the player, those are strong options. So you had to figure out how to incorporate them in the game.
She also, don't forget, had Zonk too to throw the crystals out.
Right, yeah, diamonds and stuff.
Yeah,
she doesn't have that either.
Yeah.
So to me, the most interesting points of the character are gone. I still think that she's good. She's a good zoner for sure. I just don't think that she's as interesting personally. Carmine, I think, though, did make a really good transition. He's basically Carmine. Still, he's
still Blood Boy and all that stuff.
Yeah, he costs life when he does stuff. Even as an assist, he costs life when he throws out the scythe. Puddles are still the same, pretty much. He's basically the same dude. So cool. I think he came in really well.
Maybe I'll try him out then.
Naoto, I think, is really good in the context of this game. She has gunshots, but you can cancel them into a dash, or you just let it go. So in the context of Persona, that's a very different meaning than in the context of this game, where having a side-to-side mix-up means that you have an assist that's backing you up, and now you can have real big damage hit confirms out of side-to-side stuff. So I think she has not just competent zoning, but also really good tricky pressure up close, tricky side-to-side stuff. I think she is definitely strong.
Hakumen, right?
Hakumen.
I saw a combo from Hakumen that did 8,000 damage at like 1 bar and like no partners or something like that.
He still does a ton of damage.
But he doesn't need to build up all the stuff anymore, right?
Not.
So that seems really kind of good.
I think that is good. I mean, I think it's kind of like the same as Batista, where I think he's good. It's just less interesting because you don't have this meter building in the same way that you did before, so you don't have to like budget in the same way. But yeah, I think he's good. He's got good buttons. He's got good damage. He's just a solid character.
Okay.
I don't know that he's like particularly strong, but pretty good.
Okay.
I guess they definitely nerfed for sure. Like gunshots are worse for sure. Movement is a little bit worse.
I guess was basically the new of Persona, right?
I guess that's a good way to put it. Yeah. I think that she's probably good. She's just a little bit. She's maybe like not what you would expect if you played that character in Persona.
Okay.
And then the last one, Jubei, I think is really good. He has. Did you ever try him out in BlazBlue?
Nope.
So he had really funky movement, and he retains that movement. He has the run that everybody has, or most characters have, but he also has a forward dash that corpse hops. It just switches sides.
Yeah, I definitely saw the little video clip of the hungry cat.
Exactly.
That Caramel Jenkins tweeted us.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
That's true. Yeah, that was really funny. So he has that, and again, in the context of an assist game, having that kind of side switch is really good. Like it's just not going to be bad to have the ability to throw out an assist and then which side am I going to be on, confirm either way. Like that's just legit. But he also has, and I don't know what they're called. They're like seals, like bang seals, where he can put them up into the sky and then move in a very funky manner. Again, for cross-up or not.
So you can throw out a bunch of seals, and they just go and run around and go,
as soon as I said the word seals, I was like, this is where James is going.
It took me a while because I was doing research.
Yeah, so he still has that stuff. He has good pressure, good overheads and stuff. I think he seems really strong. To me, if I were to say which one of these characters I think is the strongest, I would say Jubei. But I feel like it could really be like almost any of them, just depending on how it turns out. Probably not Icus.
Sounds like that character might actually be kind of interesting for me to look at.
You should look into him, dude. He's really fun.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, my problem with the game is I just haven't connected with any of the characters so far. Like, I've gone through so much of the cast and just messed with it. But I think that just comes from the fact that the game is so limited. You know, that there isn't well, it's less limited once you start throwing in the assists and utilizing that. But when I'm labbing one character by themselves, I feel like I run out of things to do very, very quickly. And just because I just don't feel like I have a lot of options, I don't have a lot of routes, a lot of routes for things. You know what I mean? I really need to sit down and play it against somebody with like actual, like trying the assists and doing crazy things.
Let me know when you want to play, man. So, I'm down.
But you know, I haven't played it against anybody yet. But from the time that because you know how I said like with certain games, I sit down in training mode and I just get excited about it, right? Like I haven't gotten that quite yet.
Damn, really? Oh, man.
But I will also blame one thing on it too. I think one of the biggest things that is getting in my way is that the only time I've played it is literally on my Switch. I'm playing it on a PS4 pad, so I'm having trouble doing some stuff, and it like feels uncomfortable, and it's probably giving me some bad associations with it that if I just went to a joystick, I'll probably be fine on. So
I think some characters are kind of limited in what their solo combo routes are for sure, but there are other characters that I think have really interesting ones. Like yesterday, I spent a good couple hours finding a way for Tager to do. So if you have 9 bars and your opponent's dead and your partner's dead, and you have like called assist often enough, you have access to an instant kill.
Right.
So, and also in resonance mode, you constantly build up meter. So what I did is I threw Spark Bolt, which costs 1 bar, and then I tried to find a solo combo that would take enough time so that it would automatically build back up to the 9 bars so that I could then combo into instant kill. And that took me like a good hour and a half, 2 hours to find. And I ended up finding it. I just like was trying all these sort of, how do I squeeze out the last little like few frames? And I ended up doing it. It's just, so there's, I think, some really interesting combo choices and interesting routes too. Like as walled, there are things where if the assist hits in a combo, I don't get double wall bounce combo. So I need to remember that and find what the different, better option is. But if I do have that, I can do that. And if I want to spend a bar, it's a different story. If I want to spend 4 bars, it's a very different story. So I do think that there's a lot of combo choices to be made. It's not just like AAA, BBB, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I don't know, maybe the characters I'm picking are particularly not interesting or something, but like for the most part I haven't been able to find too much of a variety. And usually when I do find something cool that looked like it should totally work, you can tell they designed it intentionally so that it doesn't work.
Oh yeah?
And it makes me really sad.
Like what?
Like Blake has this boomerang thing that she throws out, right? And I have this cool combo that sets it up that I can juggle them with it, and it knocks them to the floor, and they slide on the floor. And it totally looks like I should be able to down A and pick them up, but it's always like one frame too late. Like, they just won't let you do that.
All right, yeah.
And I feel like that would have been cool. Linne has all those ability to cancel Fireball on the dash.
Yeah.
And I keep thinking there's got to be some, like, cool knockdown, Fireball, OTG, and the dash forward, and then juggle. None of that works. Like, all the cool stuff that I feel like I want to do doesn't work with the characters that I have. And the only way I can make it work is if I put an assist in there.
Well, it's a team game.
Yeah, I mean, so it's a team game. So, like, it just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just bad luck that I keep running into that. So yeah,
I think that Wald and Tig are very interesting when it comes to combo routes. I'm not disappointed with them at all on that front.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so if you haven't tried it, it's a game that is all about auto combos, AAA, BBB, etc. Some characters have like back AAA chains, and there's not that many chains per character really. But just the way that it works out, at least for the characters that I've been looking into, you can chain them in together in interesting ways, or link in and out of them in interesting ways.
Linne's EX Fireball. No. I just mean the regular Fireball. So someone says you can do that dash combo with the EX Fireball. Maybe I should try the EX Fireball then. So
I don't know.
Okay.
But like for example, with Tager after Spark Bolt, which is a wall bounce, you could just do A, and it does like 6,000 damage. Pretty good.
Right.
But you could also do 5A, jump cancel, air AA, B, then jump again, A, C, into which gets the knockdown, and then you call walled assist, and he picks the opponent up, and then you do another Spark Bolt, and it ends up like 10,000 damage.
Right. Okay.
So it's not, if you just are doing auto combos, you can get by, but it's not at all optimal.
Yeah, it's weird because when I played the demo, and all I could use was Jin and Ragna, I was finding a lot of cool stuff with those characters. And so I was like, oh, cool, Jin has this really cool combo. When I first played it, I was like, oh, cool, that even though with auto combos you can find cool routes. And for some reason, like, all the other characters that I picked just haven't had that.
I see.
Like, I don't know if that's the case or something, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll try. I'm going to keep going through more characters.
You should.
Like, Hazama, like, because his B button is so different, right? Like, anytime you get anyone to the air, his air combo is literally jump A, double jump A, C. Like, that's his air combo, and like, that's the end of it. But like, it was weird because Ragnar had cool air moves that brought someone to the ground. So when you came to the ground, I can cancel the super. Most other characters, the air C doesn't do that. They just pounce above the air C. And a lot of characters don't have air super. So I'm like, let me try a special move, and then it doesn't do anything. And so the combo always ends up there. But Ragnar gave me something cool. Jin had that cool ice move in the air, so that I could jump C, ice them into this blade that hit them, and I could land and then jump up and do cool stuff again. Like, for some reason, the characters that I'm trying are not having that.
I don't know,
so it's like really frustrating. So maybe Hazama could do a lot more. Maybe I just need to find some more stuff out. So I'll have to test it out. I actually really want to go on YouTube and just like look up some combos.
I'm sure
and
there's
stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Rachel's a very interesting character in the game. She is not the same as in BlazBlue, of course, but they still kept her very interesting and pretty unique.
That's really interesting because like every time I do when I do Hazama A and I hit B, like that doesn't combo. Like A and a B doesn't combo. So I'm trying to figure out what the heck that he can also do. Like,
I have no idea.
Down A?
I haven't looked at him.
Down A or a special move? Yeah, I mean, if someone couldn't explain to me like what else that he's supposed to be able to do, I just didn't have any other really options or anything like that. So, okay.
Because you have jump cancel?
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, A, double jump, A, C. That's what I just did. So,
I do think that BBTAG does have cool combo routes, at least for some of the characters. The characters that maybe I happen to be playing, I don't know. They, I think, really do have interesting combo routes. And so I've been playing new Yukiko also, and Yukiko doesn't have a ton of combos, but you do have to make interesting choices about where you want the opponent to end up, whether you want to build like a little fire counter or whatever it's called. So I'm that I don't think it's lacking on that side of it. It's not like the focus per se, but I do think it's good on that.
And also keep in mind too, as a person who used to always do combo videos and try to come up with combos myself, going and finding combos online sometimes feels like cheating to me. Like, I want to see what the game can give me without having to go and look them up. You know what I mean? So I'm always curious that way. So, okay.
I do think it has cool combos. Yeah, man. Dude, Raph, I was playing against just some random online earlier today in the morning, and I was hitting him with the double wall bounce walled combos. And after we played, it goes back to the lobby, and that person wrote that they were upset that I was doing an infinite on them.
Nice.
They're like, that's going to get patched out. Come on, learn to play. Learn to play.
Right. Of course.
So there's like you can type stuff if you want to, which is what they did. But there's also like a list of automatic responses, And one of them was no can do. So he was like, learn to play. And I was like, no can do.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, anything else that you want to say about it?
Oh, dang. Were you the random? Were you?
Just Frame Lane.
Come on, Just Frame Lane. Was it you? I hope so.
That'd be funny if it was.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Was it?
No, I don't think it's him.
I feel like if you're watching an FGC show,
you're
probably not that guy.
You're not going to say that exactly.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Anyway, it's a really good game. I highly recommend everybody checking it out. It's the talk of the town.
It's interesting.
Oh, and just to reference what Raph was previously referencing. So he's going to be hosting an online tournament next Sunday, June 24th.
Okay.
You can follow him on Twitter at Raph_TX. It's the same name that he has here.
Okay.
On Twitch.
What games are there going to be?
It's going to be BBTAG.
Okay.
So I'll be on there commentating.
Nice. Oh, okay. Cool. Good stuff.
Yeah. Also with Makoto Scrub. Raph, are you going to be commentating too? Because he, of course, does commentate. It's called Fate's Crossing.
Nice. Okay. Can't believe that turned into a meme in some way. He'll be working and commentating.
Oh, okay.
Sweet. Okay.
That's cool, man. Yeah, it's something that I'm looking forward to doing. I haven't commentated the game yet, but it's a blast.
I'll have to watch it because I haven't really had a chance to sit down and watch any of the matches yet.
Ooh, it's a fun one.
I don't know anything about the flow of the game, and that's the problem.
Oh, dude,
now.
yeah?
So, yeah.
One of my favorite things about it is the flow of the game because it's so different match by match. There's some matches that go by in the blink of an eye because you're just mauling each other. But then there are matches that are really slow, and it's not even just like matches where there's a dedicated zoner and a dedicated grappler.
Right.
There's also matches that are like that where it's just slow footsies.
I don't even mean that kind of flow.
Like,
I just mean like in terms of when the game is played, how fast is the meter spent? How because what systems are being used repeatedly? You know what I mean? Do you use that standing C overhead a lot? That kind of thing. Because like in Dragon Ball, that was the same thing. When I tried to learn that game, I was like, and then it was just like super dash, Dragon Rush when you play against online players.
The overhead is like Jin's overhead is super fast, but punishable. And Wald's is not that fast, but you can space it out at a range where it's basically safe because it's half screen. It's gigantic. So that is a really character dependent thing. Yeah. Anyway, check it out. That'll be June 24th, Sunday, aka next week. I'll be commentating. Raph will be there as well. I'll definitely tweet about it before it happens. But if you haven't watched it, then check it out.
What time is it going to start?
That's a good question, Raph. What time is it going to start?
Okay.
I don't remember.
We'll get that in there. We can do... it was open entry. It's Beta Dude and Fame. 8:30
So that'll be 6:30.
PM.
8:30 p.m. Central Time, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Time.
Cool. On Sunday, huh?
On Sunday.
Okay. So it's pretty late. It's pretty late in the day then. Be able to say 500 is not too shabby.
Right, yeah, definitely.
Melee is 432 entrants.
Okay, nice.
Okay, so there you go. Yes, this is for CEO.
CEO is in a week and a half. Coming up soon.
Then Tekken 7 is at 343.
Nice.
So between Dragon Ball, then to Street Fighter 5, then to Tekken, it's about 100 drop-off between each game.
Right.
So Dragon Ball to Street Fighter, 650 to 550 to 450, essentially. You can kind of think about it. So, Dragon Ball 650.
Street Fighter 550.
Yeah, Street Fighter 550.
Oh, Melee 430, Tekken 340. I see what you mean.
Yeah. So each one of them is about 100 drop off, right? So yeah. Oh yeah, I skipped Melee. Sorry, that's my bad. Okay, and then Guilty Gear Xrd Rev is 159 entrants. Injustice 2, 143 entrants.
Right.
Uniel, 110.
Oh,
Unist,
nice.
110. Let's do this.
That's
Let's
really
go.
cool.
DDR Extreme Pro, because they're doing the crossover thing, right? 105 entrants. Super Turbo, 91 entrants.
Okay, all right.
Okay, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, 90 entrants.
Dang.
Third Strike, 88 entrants.
All
now,
right.
is this Super Turbo the one that Capcom is running, or is this a separate one? You know what I mean? I'm not sure.
Oh, man. I think it is.
Okay, it is? Okay. And then...
or no, was that already at... That wasn't Combo Breaker, right? Was that Combo Breaker? Maybe.
No. The Super Turbo event is at CEO.
Okay.
Yeah. MVCI is at 90 entrants. Third Strike is at 88. Killer Instinct is at 80.
Nice.
King of Fighters is at 43, and CVS2 is at 41.
All right, let's go CVS.
Yeah, so once again, MVCI not doing too well here.
DDR,
so.
what was DDR?
DDR was 105. In the Groove 2 Customs was 64 entrants, and Pump It Up Prime 2 was at 42.
Do you know the difference between those games?
Yes.
Okay. What are the...
Well,
how does it go
basically, I can't remember if it was Pump It Up or In the Groove, but one of them, I think it's In the Groove, is the one that's designed with the 5 buttons. So there's the center, and then there's the diagonals instead of the 4 cardinals. I can't remember which one is which. I might be backwards on that one. But actually, that might have been Pump It Up, but the other one is just like an on-crack version of DDR where they have like bombs that you can't step on, because in DDR you can just like step wherever you want and stuff like that. So Pump It Up is the one that has the diagonals. There you go. So Pump It Up is the 5 tiles one. So In the Groove is the one that has the like bombs and like crazy different all these different like modifications that you could like wavy arrows and all this kind of crazy
and
things like that.
The competitive side of that is that what your score is, or is it like...
I don't know how they're doing it.
Okay.
I don't know how if this is, because there's two. There's styles and then there's perfect attack, right? So styles, you do it, but you have to make sure you pass the song, right?
Sure.
So that
but
means
it's
you
like
have
a
to be
dance.
hitting
It's like
and or a routine. It doesn't have to be a dance. But then there's also perfect attack. I don't know which ones they're doing. I don't know what they're doing here.
Do you know if that'd be streamed? Does anybody know that?
Probably. I would imagine.
Well, I guess I'll be there, so I'm not gonna be able to stream it, to see it streamed. But I'd like to see what that looks like.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, those are big numbers, and it's going to be... I guess we'll talk about it more next week, but it's going to be a big, very interesting tournament. Not just but the wrestling stuff, the fact that it'll be in the arena.
It's like I said, Crackbrawn.
New venue.
Crackbrawn even got me to be a judge for a DDR dance competition. I don't even know why the hell I was there, because what the hell do I know about dance?
Yeah.
But he actually wanted me there because I would be unbiased, because I didn't know anything about the history of the players and stuff like that. So it's actually kind of funny. So, oh, come on, Kyobi, no, let's not do this right now. It's okay. It's okay. All right. So that was CEO. Some more information here. Some more fighting game news. Let's grab this over here. Canada Cup 2018 is has added a couple more games to their lineup, including Soul Calibur 6. That they know that the game is going to be out in time. So Canada Cup might be one of the first places to have Soul Calibur 6, because remember, Canada Cup takes place usually around Halloween weekend, and I think Soul Calibur comes out like 1 week before that or something like that. But they also added Under Night in Birth, EXE latest. So that's really cool. So that brings the total up to a whopping list of 19 games at Canada Cup. I don't know how they're going to do that, dude.
It's a lot of games.
That was a lot of games. So they added also BlazBlue Central Fiction, Pokken Tournament DX, and Baishouju Senshi Sailor Moon S. So Sailor Moon has become an official tournament because it is becoming like Canada is like the hotbed of that game.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because like Corey like is one of the main guys. Yeah. A whole bunch of guys are like super into the game, and so yeah, it's going to be officially included.
Yeah, Corey was telling us all about it at E3, how hype he is for it.
Dude, not only that, let me see if I can find the news here. There we go. Apparently, the best Sailor Moon S player in Japan is showing up to Canada Cup to play this game. Yes. Legendary by Shoujo Senshi, Sailor Moon S player Koshun will be competing in Canada Cup 2018's tournament. Apparently, he's also a great third strike player, too, as well. So he'll probably enter both. But
legendary.
He is the legend. Koshun is confirmed to be there to offer to challenge. That is actually kind of neat.
I kind of can't believe that there's a legend for it,
Dude,
but that's very cool.
He's probably going like, he's probably sitting there, he's like, wait, I can actually win money for this finally? Let's go! So yeah, he's probably going to go out there, but that's actually super cool.
By the way, I love his look. You see his look up there?
Yeah, dude. Cool. He's got the scarf and like the thin shades and everything like that.
Pompadour hair.
Yeah, exactly. But that's pretty cool. I mean, it would be fun to see everyone blow him up. You know, I mean, or for him to blow everybody else up.
However it goes. Yeah, the game sounds wild. I've never actually seen it.
Yeah, the game is super broken. I mean, you've seen like I think it's like was it Mercury or Uranus that has like the full screen dash and an SPD. And the full screen dash is like, boop, and she's over there. So like literally you can like dash away and go and SPD them like instantaneously.
Yikes.
From a screen away. And like there's a fireball that does more on chip than it does on hit.
Oh, okay, that's kind of cool.
And like, dude, there's so many like ridiculous broken things about this game. So I think that's why everybody likes it.
Yeah,
because it is so broken.
I'm down with that.
Yeah. It's like there is by no means should the game be competitive in any way, shape, or form, but somehow all the BS balances each other out.
Those are some of the best games ever.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Like that.
Exactly. So how could you not want to play this? Yeah. Let's see. We talked about the exhibition at E3, the wrestling exhibition here. Speaking of CEO, they also revealed the match card that is going to be played at CEO for the NJPW, and Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi are going to team up. The Golden Lovers are going to team up with each other up against Tetsuya Naito and Hiromu Takahashi. So I got it wrong. I got the name wrong. I thought it was Saito or something like that before, but it's Kota Ibushi. I believe that is the one that. Please chat. Let me know that if Kota is the one that he had the Golden Lovers story arc with for a really, really long time. Someone actually did like a really interesting like tweet storyline about it and stuff, how they were in the same league and like they kind of like had this relationship, but then they like one of them betrayed the other and stuff like that. So but please let me know if I'm correct on that one. But yes, Kota Ibushi is going to be there. That is going to be on June 29th in Daytona Beach, Florida. So that's the title card right there. There's also going to be Roppongi 3K versus CMLL's Dragon Lee and Ryusuke Taguchi. There's also going to be Bullet Club's Gorillas of Destiny versus Juice Robinson and David Finlay. Also, Jushin Thunder Liger versus Roppongi 3K's Rocky Romero. And then also Jeff Cobb versus the Bullet Club's Chase Owens.
What's Jeff Cobb doing? You know, these other people have these wild names. Jeff Cobb.
Oh, man. But tickets are on sale for that right now. That's all going to be at CEO, Cross, NJPW. I mean, honestly, every time something in the fighting game community goes viral, it always seems to have something to do with wrestling. So, you know, it just feels like it's kind of like a match made in heaven between these two communities.
There's clearly a lot of crossover.
Yeah.
That will all be streamed live. Twitch.tv/CEO Gaming at 8 p.m. Central Time, so 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time. I don't know from wrestling, that's for sure, but I really liked watching the thing at E3.
Dude, and
I'm looking forward to watching this too, because I don't know. Why not?
How cool was it that at I mean, that thing that happened at E3 wasn't even just like, it's cool for fighting game, but it was also a really big deal for the wrestling world too. Because WWE and NJPW basically don't ever combine. They never do anything together, right? And Xavier Woods / Austin Creed, you know, aka Austin Creed, is from WWE, and Kenny Omega is from NJPW, and that's why like you couldn't really promote it as one or the like. It had to be a side thing like fighting games. They never get the crossover, and at the end when they were like, you know what, we're actually like admire each other. We're not truly rivals, but this was a big deal. Like we would really love for an actual WWE WWE cross NJPW event. Like they were actually like using that as a platform to kind of push for something like that. So
that's cool.
It's actually really, really cool. Yeah. There you go.
Wow, Gentle Snow says that wrestling companies claimed copyright on wrestler identities. Yeah, I guess that makes kind of sense. But they couldn't copyright the wrestlers' real names, of course. Right. So you can do stuff. So Austin is his real name? Is it?
I think Austin Creed is his real name, yeah.
So he can do stuff as Austin Creed, but not necessarily as Xavier Woods.
Right, yeah. Xavier Woods.
Xavier
Woods. Come on, get that straight, man. Yeah, no, but it was pretty cool that that was happening at that E3 thing.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Cool to watch.
Let's see, what else do I have from this is Group C. We already did this. No other things that I have for events, I don't think here. So it's kind of jumping in back to the topic that you were talking about. Ed Boon talked a little bit about the lack of a reveal of Mortal Kombat at E3, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what it was that he talked about? And
I think he just alluded to the fact that they're not announcing anything at E3.
I mean, he says that he did state that they're chomping at the bit to talk about stuff, but at the moment that they have nothing to announce. So it sounds like that they have something, but they're just following a schedule of announcing. So yeah, there you go. So
you never know. It could be.
Is that actually Latif? Is that you, Latif? I haven't seen that guy in forever.
That'd be cool. What up? If so. Oh, what up in any case?
Okay.
Yeah, people are speculating that MK might be announced at EVO. I don't know, man. That seems like such a big... it's not like announcing a character. Announcing the next Mortal Kombat, I feel like, is bigger than EVO, if that makes sense. I don't know, but if they do, then that'd be pretty cool, I guess.
I mean, to be honest with you, like...
I would go... Well, I'm not going to be there, but I would go nuts.
Right. I mean, because the thing about it is, though, if you announce it at E3... like at the PlayStation conference, right? People would be like, woo! You announce it at EVO, and it's going to be like,
explosion, for sure.
Right?
For sure.
So I think that's kind of really cool. Okay, it's not that Latif, but
people are called Latif. It's a not
very common name, exactly. So, but
anyway, what's up, buddy?
Street Fighter had announced a couple of new costumes. There's some pretty sick costumes here. I'm gonna sit here and tell you this, dude. And for Ed, Laura, and Ken, they added some Devil May Cry stuff here. So there you go. So that is
that's pretty cool looking.
That's Ed right there.
Ed
as one of the Devil May Cry characters.
Okay, which one?
One of them. And here's Ken as what I'm assuming this is Dante, right? So I'm guessing this is Nero.
I don't know, dude.
But that is the Ed costume. This is Ken as one of the costumes over here, and then Laura here as this character. But that's not the costume that is the greatest costume of all time.
Okay.
The greatest costume of all time. Rashid as Airman.
That really is super sick.
Dude, so I have been making that joke forever. Because when Mega Man 2 gets the Airbuster, you shoot a tornado that goes up into the sky. As soon as I saw Rashid do that, like first few times I commented, I was even making the Airman noise.
Yeah. I remember.
You know, that goes up like this. This is ridiculous Rashid costume right here.
It really looks good.
Like, it's not even like he's dressed up like Airman. It's literally
just Airman.
It's just Airman in there, dude.
Super cool.
It's so good. It's so good. I am. This might be one of the fight costumes that I have to like try to get the fight money for.
I can see myself buying this costume. I've only done that a couple of times, but this one, sure.
Yeah, but that's.
I would love to support specifically that kind of thing. Because that is actually cool. A lot of the other costumes are whatever, honestly.
Right.
But that costume is really cool.
Right.
And I would like, if I could be like, Capcom, do more of these, and I like pay them money.
If they just did a whole Mega Man pack where they just like turned everybody into a Mega Man character, and they just like figured out the right ones to do.
Yeah.
The only problem is there's only one female robot, so like,
really?
I don't know how they would do that unless they just made most of the characters like the male robots anyway, and it just doesn't matter.
You can just do a certain number. It doesn't need to be all the cast, right?
That's true. That's true.
That would be cool.
So, okay.
I think that looks really cool. You guys don't like that? Jeez, get out of here. I think that's cool.
Other cool things that Arika released a video to show a comparison between PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro output comparison, but the whole point apparently was that they could reveal Volcano Rosso is also going to be in Fighting EX layer. Yes, exactly. Probably one of the more interesting characters that I have always thought was in the EX franchise, although he seemed kind of broken a little bit.
Yeah.
He was the guy who could plant a meaty fireball on you and then cancel into like a command dash, and you could either go to the other side or stay in front.
Totally don't remember that.
And so like he was just kind of cheap.
That sounds really cool.
He was one of the strongest characters of that game for sure. So, but yeah, that's really cool. Let's see. At CEO, more CEO news. Sorry, I skipped this event news. But there will be a playable demo of Smash Brothers Ultimate for attendees at CEO next weekend.
Okay, let's do it.
So you can go and try that over there. I mean, it's so funny. Who was it? Was it Zero? Or somebody was like, stop calling it like Smash with a 5 instead of the S. You know, call it like Smash Ultimate because that sounds cool, right? But like... But here's the thing, right? Like, I've been calling it Smash You. Like, that's probably not a good idea, right? We should probably not call it...
I just call it Ultimate, but...
Okay,
you can call it Smush.
Yeah, some people call it Smush. I don't like that.
I think it's hilarious.
You know why I don't like Smush is because there was a Lakers player by the name of Smush Parker, and he wasn't very good, so... Yeah,
I like Smash with 4.5 in the middle of it. The 4 instead of the A. You know lead speed.
Yeah.
That's clever.
But it will be playable at CEO, so that will be super
Smash
awesome.
U. Who's going to go to Smash U?
Yeah, that's
graduate from Smash U.
Yep.
Can you get into Smash U?
I always wanted to create like a fake college like South Tallahassee, Florida University or something like
Trump
that.
Trump University.
Because that's STFU, right? So I always thought that was... I'm surprised that there hasn't been that joke made more often. You know, it seems like such an obvious joke, right?
I haven't thought about it.
Okay, Southern Tallahassee, Florida University. There you go.
It seems like a lot to go through to make the joke. But
right, but I think that's pretty cool. So, Soul Calibur 6 has been confirmed by Motohiro Okubo that they are going to have the Create a Fighter thing, which was very popular in previous versions where, remember Justin would make other fighting game members?
Sure, that was
he used
funny.
to stream that a lot, so that is going to actually be there, as well as a season pass for Soul Calibur 6. So, standard fighting game fare now, this is what we do. We have the game, and then we have season passes afterwards. So, you know, expect a $60 game, and then expect to buy a season pass for more, or expect to buy the Ultimate Soul Calibur 6 pack, which will have all of the season.
Sounds right.
There. Yep. Okay.
Dang, St. Francis University is a real. Oh, it's called the University of St. Francis. But that's basically what you're talking about.
Right, yeah. But it's missing the T in there.
Saint,
right?
ST. People abbreviate that ST a lot.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, there you go. STFU, okay. Also, it was hinted by Okubo that Talon will be in there. I don't know if you saw his tweet.
No.
He sent out a tweet that someone was like, please put Talon in the game. And his response was, thank you, next line. All for, next line, looking, next line, into, last name, next line, my E3 interview.
Got it.
Which, of course, the first letter in all of those spells Talum. Oh, craziness.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Nice.
But, I mean, so maybe he's actually hinting that right there. So, there you go. Also,
I wanted to make one for Astaroth.
One thing...
It'd be a long tweet.
It would be a long tweet. Also, the people, who was it? One of the, there it is, producer Koji Nakajima of Jump Force.
Okay.
Remember the trailer had Light Yagami and
No.
Rook is his name, at the end of the trailer on the top of the building, right? I've seen the first 2 episodes. The show was really good, by the way.
I've heard. I don't mean to blow up the.
Yeah, definitely.
Watched it.
I've only seen the first 2. I'm trying to get through most of it. I've had friends tell me all about it and everything like that. But even the second episode is the one that makes you go like, oh crap, like this is gonna be good. So I've only gotten 2 in there. But in any case, those 2 characters at the end of the trailer. So I don't know if you know anything about the show at all. So Light Yagami has a book. And basically, is it Light? I think it is Light. But he's the one that has the ability to write anybody's name in there and they will die. So he becomes
Death Note.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, the book is called Death Note. The book itself has Death Note written on it in the show, right? Rook. Yeah. So basically, everyone was like, "How do you put him in a fighting game? He's going to be unfair because it'd be like round one, fight, write your name, and you die, right?"
All right.
But apparently, the producer said that they are not going to be playable in the game.
Oh.
That they are part of the storyline that weaves everybody together.
Okay.
So they are going to guest in the game, and they're not actually going to be in there. But the reason why the show is actually really good, I'll just say this much right now, is that the detective who's basically made it his mission to stop him, and I know the plot changes very drastically, like during the course of the show, as per normal, right? But he never reveals his name, and basically it becomes like this really cat and mouse game for him to try to find out what the detective's name is so he can kill him. But like
he has to know their actual name.
Yeah, he has to know their actual name and know what their face is. So he does a good job masking his face and then hiding his name. But I heard that the way that they trick each other is very really intricate and really intelligently written. So there you go. So. People posting spoilers?
I'm not going to brag on it at all. I just haven't watched it.
Okay. Also, another thing is apparently the Neo Geo Mini that we talked about yesterday that they had on display at E3, they're actually selling a pad that's going to go along with it. You can actually connect it with a little pad. It is going to be sold separately.
Okay.
However, there is no information on a joystick that they might ship with it or anything like that. Yes, we don't know anything, but they are considering an arcade stick for the Neo Geo Mini.
Does it say, is it a USB plug-in?
I believe so. I remember seeing pictures, and in fact, I think that...
is that a little micro
I'm not
USB
sure.
there?
I can't tell, so...
Or mini, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, but from what I had talked to... I talked to Gibby a lot. Obviously, he's one of the biggest SNK guys there is. And he said that the actual the Neo Geo Mini is really cool. It's really accurate.
Yeah, it looks,
all the bugs are in there, so the ports are really accurate and stuff like that.
Oh, that is cool.
So the controls are a little wonky, obviously, because the thing is small and everything like that. But in terms of like if you want to go play like some of the old games, it's really cool. However, the American and the Japanese versions are different, kind of like the SNES Mini that came out, how they had different games on them.
Oh, I didn't know.
So apparently, the US version has all the Metal Slugs on there, but missing a few KOFs. But the Japanese one has all the KOFs on there, missing a few Metal Slugs and stuff like that.
Okay.
So there you go. So USB-C is what people are saying.
Okay.
So it's just a USB-C thing.
Cool.
So, cool. Also, ArcSys put out this crazy timer on their website in the font that looked like Kill la Kill, and so everyone's like, oh my god, are they going to make a Kill la Kill fighting game? This is nuts and everything. Or are they going to add Kill la Kill to BlazBlue cross tag battle, whatever, blah 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 blah. And then the timer ended and the website said, go watch this show. So it was a timer to an announcement to tell you to go watch a show, because during that show they showed a commercial for the actual people got to stop doing this.
Seems
it's the dumbest thing.
Pretty attenuated.
Yeah, it seems pretty stupid, but they made you go watch it, and sure enough, it turns out that ArcSys Works is publishing a Kill la Kill game that is an arena fighter. So it's another arena fighter, but they are publishing it. Yes. They are publishing it, but it is being developed by A+ Games.
Okay.
Which was the developer apparently of Little Witch Academia, Chamber of Time, also published by ArcSys Works. I think A+ Games might be like a side company of ArcSys. I remember reading something about that, or something like that, but developer. I might not, or just like a company they go to hire a lot, kind of thing like that. But it's not being developed directly by ArcSys, and it's not a true fighting game. It is an arena fighter. So there you go. So a lot of people were kind of mad about that, because it's literally a timer for this and to make you watch a show to see the. It's like, come on.
It's kind of funny, but I get being annoyed by that.
We're all sick of an announcement, right?
Yeah.
Here's an announcement. Tune in on this day for this announcement. It's like, why did you give me an announcement for an announcement? So yeah, there you go. And then finally, Core A Gaming, I like to talk about the content that he produces. He's producing lots of content. He does this full time now.
That's right.
So something that you might want to check out and help support him. Gerald Lee, of course, doing a lot of good stuff. And I still think it's funny that I figured out that Core A is a pun on Korea. And basically, the latest thing that he did was he talked to NL and Oil King and interviewed them and talked how different philosophies on how they deal with nerfs and buffs in Street Fighter V. And the little picture that he made was actually really funny. So let me just put it on the screen here for you guys. I guess he had a Rashid and a Cammy action figure, and he pulled the arms off the Rashid and gave him the Cammy. So there you go. So now Cammy is
extra beefy.
Buffy buff. So there you go.
She has pretty beefy arms anyway.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty true. So there you go. So that's that.
That's cool.
Yep. So that's all I have for video game news.
All right.
Do you have anything else that you would like to add?
Yeah, like I mentioned, I started playing Breath of the Wild again, which I initially thought was not good. Not terrible, but not good. And after I uninstalled Civ, because I was cracking out on it too much, I basically wanted a single-player game to play to kind of decompress from... I can't always play competitive games, right? So I decided to fire that one up because I only have 2 games for the Switch. So it was either that or Mario. And you know what? I like it. I like Breath of the Wild after all.
Okay.
It's really rare that I've experienced starting out with the game disliking it and then coming around to actually yes-liking it.
Okay.
It's only happened a couple of times. And this is definitely one of the most prominent examples of it. I think in the final analysis, it's a good game.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you're talking about decompression games, you basically can't get a better decompression game than Breath of the Wild.
Around.
Yeah, you're just running around exploring and stuff like that.
Like I beat the game a while ago, so at this point I'm just looking for all of the shrines, looking for maxing out my gear, whatever, stuff like that. Finding all the memories, and
like, I'll tell you,
I did.
I'll tell you this
cool.
right now.
It was actually pretty cool.
Airplane rides, just gone. I spent a 5-hour airplane ride one time looking for one shrine.
Dang.
That I still didn't find that shrine, by the way. Like, I did not find that shrine. And it is funny thing is, I tweeted about this. I was like, I could not find the shrine. I was looking for 5 hours, right? And someone responded with this area. He just named the area, and I was like, that's the exact one that I was looking for. And like, he didn't tell me how to get. He knew, he knew which one the problem was. So there's one shrine that's like that annoying.
How do you know if you have shrines left to find? Is there like a counter?
Did you not turn on the radio, the radar for it?
I have it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you just hear the beep beep beep.
But there's not like an in-game counter like you've.
Oh no, I think there's just a known number of them out there. Yeah. But like literally, it was like, it might not have been 5 hours, but it was definitely like 4 hours. I was running around and like marking things on the map and stuff like that.
I like that. That's
and
cool.
It's literally in the middle of like a mountain range, and I'm just like. And so I have gone everywhere on the edges to see if there's a tunnel, and God, I could not find that thing. That thing drove me nuts. Yeah, Shadowrun is on the Switch now.
Did you get all of the Koroks?
There's like 900 of those things.
That seems absurd.
Yeah, and I know D1 did it on his stream too. I don't know if there's a way to eventually detect Koroks as well, maybe, because you can detect anything.
Yeah.
Right, and I still haven't figured out how to do that yet. I don't know why. I can't get it to work.
You just take a picture of a thing, and as long as it's something that is in the compendium,
right, you should be able to do that.
You can just
right?
search for it. Yeah.
I'll have to double check that again, but I haven't used that ability at all, and I've been looking for like lizards and stupid.
I just did that yesterday. Well, 2 days ago, to find like fire lizards or whatever it was, so I could level up my heat gear.
120 shrines total. There you go. So.
I don't think Civ is on the Switch. I didn't mean to suggest that.
Yeah.
Is that what I said?
No, well, you just said I uninstalled it, and then you're like, I only have 2 games on the Switch.
Oh,
so I think it was just confusing.
It from Steam. Yeah, I see.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Well, that's spoiler. Fireball Stars. Thanks.
This is on the DLC?
Can someone ban him? No, just kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah,
so I've been thinking about buying the DLC because I ended up liking the game.
Yeah, I haven't even gotten the DLC yet.
I haven't either because I thought I didn't like the game, but lo and behold, it's pretty cool after all. Oh boy, my opinion on the U.S. leaving the UN human rights. I mean, what can you even say about?
Dude, it's like
the actual United States pulling out of the Human Rights Council.
I just feel like at this point in time, he just keeps. I just feel like he just keeps doing really stupid things to distract us from the last stupid thing that he did.
Well, I don't think that he is smart or well planned enough to be thinking about it like that. I think always the easiest way to explain Trump is just that he's not very smart, racist, wants to make money, and narcissistic. I feel like if you it's just 4 things. Dude, he's honestly, not a complex person.
Honestly, I made the joke on Facebook. He probably saw Independence Day and was like, I can do a better job than Bill Pullman, you know, at defending space against aliens, so I'm going to do this, right? And then I even made the joke, is like, actually, Bill Pullman's not Bill Clinton. And he was like, I could play saxophone better than Bill Pullman, you know, like...
I don't know. I mean, the Space Force idea is not a new one. It's been around for a long time. But it's actually against treaties that we are party to create a Space Force. It's illegal.
Right.
So, I guess we could pull out of that thing, too. Why not? What is law? I don't know. I really don't think he's a contradiction in contradictions. I really think it's very on the surface. There's nothing else there other than he is not a very smart racist who is a narcissist and wants to make money. Yeah, I really think that's it.
He basically is a kid that grew up having everything that he wanted, and he's never grown up.
By his own admission, he actually said this, that he doesn't think that he's basically the same guy he was when he was 6.
Right.
He has actually said those words.
He's actually said that?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so I really don't think that there's anything else there. It's just, so if people want to look into sort of what the grand strategy of it is, I believe the people around him may have intentions on that, but he himself, I just can't imagine that's the case at all. So for this kind of thing, I'm not surprised, because there's a movement that's outside of him that wants us to be outside of the UN at all. You know, they want to get rid of the UN. That's what the Bolton appointment is about. It was the same idea when Bush thought about appointing him. It's what his current representative to the UN is about. So that's a long-standing thing among conservative people in the U.S., and he's doing it. It's just that it's particularly gross to be pulling out of the UN Human Rights Council at the same time as the things you're doing are clearly violations of human rights. You're violating human rights now and pulling out. So, look, the U.S. does not have a good record when it comes to human rights, for sure. Internationally and domestically, it's been a problem for us forever. We've often tried to market ourselves as not being violators of human rights or as caring about it, but the real record is not good at all unless you're, a white Protestant in certain parts of the country. The number of people who have actually had great results have been few, honestly. So it's not like a new policy. It's just there's like I mentioned at the start, I feel like we've had this short window of tolerance, and it may be going away at least for a period of time, or at least becoming so. There are people who have always wanted us to not be tolerant, and they I think sense that they're on the way out and are doing what they can do to hold on to power.
It's like they're trying to blindside everybody right now while they can.
Sure. Or it's like if somebody is drowning and there's the death throes part of it, right? Where there's like flailing. And I think that's kind of what it is. I don't expect them ever to die off completely, but just demographically, it's going to be very difficult for them to maintain power. So you see things like extreme gerrymandering. You see things like trying to make, or actually having made money in politics even worse, or making it so that people can't vote, or making it harder for them to vote. Those are all to the same goal of making it so that you don't need to actually have a demographic majority. It's a weird time. I didn't think it would come back in the way that it is. I mean, obviously it's not something new, as I've been saying, but I didn't think that it would come back. But here it is.
It's just frustrating. It's just like every time I see something new that they're doing, like, it's like, it makes me angry because there has already been so many stupid things, you know what I mean? It's just going to keep piling up on top of each other, and I literally just look at this like we are literally falling apart as a country right now. And
yeah, I mean, we've always had these two halves, or maybe not halves, but sections of, you know, the one side that wants to have Jim Crow and slavery and all that stuff, and the other side that doesn't. Sometimes there's more of a consensus. A lot of people were in favor of interning Japanese folks, for example. But there's always been this contention, and I feel like the moral tolerant side has been on top in the last, maybe since like the 60s or 70s, maybe more accurately. But yeah, not now. That's for sure. That's for sure. Look, the UN is not an ideal organization, so the Human Rights Council has definitely had abusers on it, for sure, including us. But there's a sort of value for PR or philosophy or whatever in being part of it, or at least not actively pulling out of it. That says something, that you want to actively pull out of it. Extra gross. There is a national protest against what's going on with interning asylum seekers. That's the 30th of June, so we're actually going to be in Daytona Beach, Florida, during that period of time.
That's right. That's right.
I was thinking about going, but not going to be around.
Okay. Someone in the chat, Overhaul, mentioned something. He's like, as frustrating as these has been, it kind of makes you appreciate that the fighting game community seems to be a very inclusive and diverse group. I wanted to probably mention at E3, one of the things that I did also do is I attended the We Are Esports panel, where about women making difference in the fighting game community, right?
Cool.
So there were 5 people on the panel. There was Zorine, formerly of Yahoo Esports. There was Eunice Chen as part of Cloud9. There was Persia was on there. Of course, we all know Persia, Marvel commentator. Vicky Kitty was on there. We know her, Smash commentator, and Emily Chow, part of ESL, on there. What was actually kind of neat about it, you know, they asked questions to them like, where did you get your fighting, like video game roots and stuff like that. But it's actually really cool to have heard that 4 of them out of the 5 started from fighting games.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so Persia, I mean, she started with Halo, but she went into fighting games eventually, right? And then that's how she got into where she is. Emily got involved with the fighting game community in Toronto. Zorine got involved with like, she knows all the people who run, the Ozhado and stuff like that. She knows all those people. And Vicky Kitty obviously started with Smash Brothers as well. So, you know, it was actually kind of really interesting to see that 4 out of 5 of them came from fighting game backgrounds.
That is cool.
So,
Didn't know that.
Despite the fact that the fighting game does still have some, gender issues and stuff like that, somehow we're paving the way to help people get into, stronger esports positions. So I thought that was actually super cool. So
I'm
that was
happy to
actually
hear
cool.
that.
So, shout outs to that. Shout outs to that talk. It was actually really cool.
Yeah.
So.
Kulo Demandril, if you can avoid politics, consider yourself very lucky. There are people who cannot do so. That's a lot of us. I can avoid it to some degree. Things don't sort of immediately impact me in the way that they might somebody who faces more active discrimination in life. It comes up for me sometimes. If somebody knows that I'm Jewish, sometimes they'll make remarks about that. It's only ever happened on that. It's never happened with respect to me being white or a guy. It's just with respect to that. So I have a small window into it, but for many other people, it's much worse.
Right.
And if you have the ability to avoid that, then you are unusual. Just know that. Don't feel like you're the default. I used to feel like I was the default as a white guy. It's kind of what we're socialized to believe. And I thought that in kind of like a it wasn't meant to be haughty. It was like that self-deprecating, because I'm not so great. I'm just the average default guy, right? But there's a lot of
advantages to that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, if I feel like I'm the norm, then all the things that I experience in life, I think that, hey, everybody else has to deal with the same thing. No big deal, right?
Yeah,
nothing's too bad. But there are people right now who are being interned in concentration camps for having run away from violence in their home countries and seeking asylum in the U.S. They're being split away from their parents and from their kids right now. So that is hard to find a bigger direct thing. They can't avoid this stuff.
And another thing too. I mean, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, you know what? Why are you guys talking about this? Should be fighting games or whatever like that." It's impossible to avoid right now. There's there's too much stuff happening right now.
Seriously.
I mean, if like on my phone every day, there's like some other crazy thing that's going on. You know what I mean? Like,
don't try. I mean, don't try to avoid it. You have to live in this world like everybody else does. And if you think that you can avoid it, you are wrong. But you're also making it easier for people who want to do the things that at least that we don't like to do those things. So it's an active choice that you make to more easily allow bad stuff to happen. By trying to ignore things.
So. And we definitely already had like 2 hours and 45 minutes of fighting games.
We talked a little bit about fighting games tonight. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Well.
Obama, Clinton, and Bush did the same thing. Is this with respect to tearing families apart? If so, it did happen occasionally. It's true. Mostly for lack of resources. At times there were big spikes in the numbers of immigrants and asylum seekers, and in some of those instances there wasn't enough money to actually house everybody. So there were some splitting up of families. There was even a court case that required it in certain instances. But this is the first time that it's ever been active policy to do that, is kind of the difference. So it's happening much more frequently, and it's happening as a direct affirmative policy. It's not like we don't have enough money, we have to do this. This is what we're doing.
Right, and it's not in the law. So I know there's some people that said that it was something written to the law that was put in place during the Obama administration. It's not actually anywhere in the law.
It is not.
So there you go. So we have been streaming for over 3 hours now.
All right, well, we should probably skedaddle.
So yeah.
I've been drinking water. So have you.
Yeah, I've been drinking tons of water. So it's so funny because I'm trying to drink less soda these days. And to be honest, even before I stopped drinking soda, I've been on a big water kick. I've been drinking water like all over the place. But nobody knows that. So like I was talking to my brother one time, and he was like, it's not a bad thing to drink some water. And I'm like, dude, I drink so much water nowadays. It's ridiculous, dude. So, but okay.
What was I just going to say? Oh, yeah. I feel like calling it evil is a way to escape, too. And it was the same thing with all of the crappy stuff that's happened. That's a way to kind of think that it's not you, that it's somebody else doing stuff that would never happen to you or somebody. It's sort of like it's the pass the buck, I feel, to call something evil. The people who are doing it don't feel that they're evil, for sure. Very few people wake up and say, I'm going to do evil stuff today. It's much more that they feel that they're scared, they're worried about the situation for, oftentimes bigoted reasons, bad reasons, but they don't feel like they're actively being evil. I mean, that's the case for almost all of the world's biggest, worst people, right? They don't actively feel like they're being evil. They feel like they're defending things. They feel like they're doing what they need to do to make themselves safe.
Right.
They don't consider themselves evil. They're just humans.
Feel like they're doing the thing right.
They're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And so if you view them as being just as fully human as you are, you can kind of get a sense of how easily this stuff happens. It's easy. It's happened who knows how many times throughout history that gross stuff like this happens. Too many times to even count. And they're all people doing that stuff. All humans.
All right. Okay. Enough about politics here. So I mean, it's not that I don't want to talk about it or anything like that, but it's going to get chat a little bit nasty as well. So
hey,
okay.
Deal with it.
Well, thanks for tuning in and everything. You're going to be doing the BlazBlue thing this weekend.
Oh, yeah. So check out smash.gg/fatescrossing, FATES crossing. And it's also going to be streamed at twitch.tv/wrath_TX.
Right. And then also tomorrow I should be continuing my 30th anniversary and finally getting to ST. And I might be streaming that for probably like 19 hours, just talking about ST and stuff.
I saw the Super one.
Yeah, that one I thought I was only going to spend time on Super for like 20 minutes, and then I would do the rest on Super Turbo. But I ended up doing 3 hours on Super.
I saw that.
way longer than I should have.
It was interesting though.
Yeah. But Super Turbo is going to be really interesting because I'm going to try to keep it to as much just like this is the game stuff, but then I'm going to start getting into strategies and combos and doing all sorts of crazy nonsense.
It'd be cool.
So, but I should be doing that tomorrow, so I should be back to streaming again after a week of break because of E3 and all that stuff like that. So.
Hey, hit me up if any of y'all want to play BBTAG. I am super down.
Okay. Oh yeah, and the Alpha series will be right after that. Don't worry. So.
All right.
Yes, I will definitely finish Death Note at some point in time. Don't worry, Macross.
Yep, I'm with you. You can't look away. See you later, y'all.
It's the most I think I've ever seen you dance on the show.
What? I've danced? I'm a dancer.
Are you?
You don't think I'm a dancer?
I've never seen you dance before in my life.